The following is a live production of iLink Media Group in association with the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association. Well, howdy everybody, and welcome to the 60th annual Wainwright Stampede. This is part of our Road to the CFR tour. Our live coverage is coming to you right now. I'm David Paulson alongside Doug Young. Katie Lucas is going to join us with a whole lot of good stuff behind the scenes. But you know, talking about behind the scenes, we kind of come to this rodeo a little bit heartsick because, of course, all of the things that are happening in southern Alberta, it affects us. We're aware of that, and we certainly feel for the people that are suffering in southern Alberta.
Oh, you bet, Dave. It's hard to keep your mind on anything else. We've got cowboys and cowgirls here tonight that are competing, not knowing exactly how friends and family are doing at home. And they might be competing tonight with heavy hearts, perhaps not their mind on their business as it should be.
But, of course, rodeo is going to continue, and this is a great stop. I'll tell you what, on our Road to the Tour, or Road to the CFR Tour, I love this stop here in Wainwright. Now, it's called the Battle for the Buckles. And with good reason. We got a whole lot of great buckles and great battles for those buckles. But I'll tell you one thing we have. This is the segment we call How Smart Are the Announcers, okay? We're going to pick our top guys in each event right now. Doug, you kick it off in the bareback riding. But before we do that, we're going to go to Katie Lucas because she has a real champion who really does know stuff right now.
Well, thank you, Dave. I'm behind the chutes here with Taos Muncie. Taos, you have a great matchup tonight on Eclipse. Tell me about the horse and what you expect from him.
I'm really excited to get on this horse. I've seen it at the NFR, CFR, and he bucks. And if I do my part, you know, he gives me a chance to do some good. And he's just an awesome horse. And I couldn't sleep all night because I'm ready to get on him.
Well, it sounds great. Tell me about your year so far and how it's been going for you.
It's been going good. I can't complain. I've been just kind of chipping away at him, and I'm still getting healthy, getting to rodeo. So I'm plumb tickled.
What about your goals for this season?
My goals are the same every year. I'd like to try to go for a world title and make the CFR. That's my goals every year, and that's what we're trying to do.
All right, and what do you think about this matchup today? What are you expecting for the score they're going to give you, and what about the other horses out today?
All the horses here in the short round should be real good. There's a bunch of real good matchups. It's going to be a real exciting short round. Anytime you make a short round, you know there's the best horses, the best guys, the hottest guys that weekend, so should be really good, and I just hope I can ride him.
Well, good luck tonight, Taos.
Appreciate it.
Back to you, Dave.
Well, thanks, Katie. And Taos Muncie, by the way, was a guy that we very much like. We think he's got a real good chance. But let's talk a little bit about bareback riding. Who do you like in the bareback riding?
Well, you know what, Dave? I'm going to stay right here in this part of the world, and I'm going to take the youngster. I'm going to take Clint Lay from Cadogan on the horse OLS Tubbs Ross River.
Well, I kind of like that pick, but I'll tell you, Luke Creasy, a good friend of mine, has a great horse called Neutral Hills. And this is a horse that I raised as a bucking horse. Been to the Calgary Stampede, been to the Canadian Finals Rodeo. I'm all over Luke Creasy.
Good deal. Now, in the tie-down roping, I think I'm going to go with Clint Cooper. This guy is absolutely great. Who have you got?
Well, you can't go wrong when you pick a guy with the last name of Cooper, but I'll tell you one thing right now. I'm all over Dean Edge. Great Canadian cowboy, 6 times been to the Canadian Finals Rodeo, and he has been on fire of late. He's #1 in Canada. I'm all about Dean Edge.
Well, I tell you what, in the team roping, I'm going to go a little bit out of the realm of possibility, and I'm going to go with the Chapel Boys from Saskatchewan. They are double tough. They haven't been here before. We're going to watch them tonight.
You're staying with your local guys. I'm going to do the same thing because Levi Simpson, of course, comes from my town, and John Robertson comes from a town called Polson, so I got to like that a whole lot. We're all over Simpson and Robertson in the team roping.
Now, in the saddle bronc riding, I'm going to take the New Zealander. I'm going to take Curtis Garton tonight. He's got a great horse, and he has been very, very hot. He's a New Zealand champion.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick, but I'll tell you what, I like my guy, Chet Johnson. He's sitting at the top of the board coming in here with that 84 score along with Tyrell Larson, and he's awesome is what Chet Johnson is, and he's got a horse called Awesome.
Now, I'm going to go to the steer wrestling this time, and I'm going to say Justin Miller from Cessford. He's young, he's hungry, he's talented. He's going to win a bunch of money tonight.
Well, and I like Big Billy Buganig, a great American bulldogger, and he's a big guy, and he's 3 times been to the National Finals Rodeo, so I'm all about that.
In the ladies barrel racing, you can't go wrong if you take the reigning world champion. That's Mary Walker from Ennis, Texas. She's my pick to win on Latte.
Well, Brittany Fleck, has been to the Canadian Finals Rodeo, another one of those tough American barrel racers, comes in 3rd spot heading into our short go. I like Brittany Fleck a lot.
That's a good pick as well. Now, in the bull riding, I'm going to take Devin Mazie. He's got a bull tonight called Uncle Buck. It's going to be great. I like both of them.
Well, I like Tanner Gerlitz. I'll tell you why, because he's been on this bull before. Now, maybe didn't have the result that he totally wanted because he got bucked off the bull up at Prince Albert at a bull riding earlier this year. But he told me it was pilot error. He's kind of figured things out, and he is ready for that bull tonight. And Tanner Gerlitz, of course, coming off that big win last week at Innisfail, might carry it over right here to Wainwright in the battle for the buckles.
Well, Dave, we're going to keep track of this. We're going to see who's the smartest when we're all done tonight. We'll do the roll-up, and let's have a little side bet. Let's go for a cup of coffee or something like that.
I can do that. I can go as deep as a cup of coffee because, of course, on our salaries, that's about as deep as we can go. I am awfully excited. I got to tell you right now, it's 60th annual. Imagine 60 years of this great tradition, and it truly is a great tradition in Canadian rodeo. And I'll tell you something else. We're counting down right now to the start of it all. It's going to kick off with the grand entry in just a few seconds from right now, Doug.
We hope you're going to stay with us, everybody. Enjoy the road to the CFR.
The Road to the CFR is presented by the Edmonton Destination Marketing Hotels, Northlands, the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association, and iLink Media Group in partnership with Travel Alberta. Well, we're going right to the arena right now, and you're going to see that grand entry that we talked about, the color, the pageantry, the history of the Wainwright Stampede, the battle for the buckles. Oh, man, 60 years of this great tradition, and here they come right now. Look at that.
You know, Dave, the first time I came here, I was 7 years old. I absolutely loved that day. I've been in awe of this rodeo ever since. And look at these young ladies coming with the flags of our sponsors.
Well, I'll tell you something, you talk about the tradition, you talk about the pageantry, and you, of course, are part of the history here as a former team roping champion at the Wainwright Stampede. That's pretty cool. I was here too, but not in nearly as important a role as that. I was merely the announcer several years in a row. But I got to tell you, it is so good to be back in Wainwright and enjoying exactly what we're seeing right now. That's such a colorful kickoff to the Wainwright Stampede, and it's been doing it for 60 years. That is pretty amazing. Look at those cowgirls ride.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching these cowgirls all day long. They've been back here practicing and warming up. Those horses are finally turned out, and these young ladies can really ride. That's the thing you find in ranch country, cowgirls, no doubt about it.
The other thing about it, too, is the ground conditions. You think about the amount of rain that they have had at the Wainwright Stampede over the first few days. You look out there, it looks pretty doggone good. And I talked to Mary Walker, Byron Walker, her husband, Mary Walker, one of our barrel racers, and he took a look out there and he said, those ground conditions aren't going to be half bad for the barrel race. And if they're okay for the barrel race, they should be okay for pretty much everything out there.
Well, about an hour and a half ago, the Canadian Professional Chuck Wagon Racing Association was in here. They've reworked the ground since then. It was a little tough in front of the buck chutes, but they've had a lot of heavy equipment in there since then. They brought in some new dirt, and it is fantastic out there right now.
Well, as a matter of fact, you're absolutely right. Up to about 45 minutes before the start of the performance here tonight, they were out there working on the ground. You got to credit the committee and Art Moline and all of the great people who have worked so very, very hard putting this thing together. It's all about volunteers when you talk about these events, and those volunteers have been tireless.
Oh, yeah, whenever you come to something like this, it's all about people. And these people have been working hard all week. They've had breakfasts, they've had barbecues, they've had just a ton of things, dress-up contests downtown. It's been very, very busy, not only for the volunteers, but for the cowboys and cowgirls that have come here for 4 days of rodeo, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All leading up, of course, to our championship round, and it's exciting for our Road to the CFR to be covering the final go-round. And what that means is that the top 10 in every event have qualified to make this championship round, or what we call the short go in rodeo parlance. Now, we put together the times and or scores in each of their events here tonight. We add to that what they've done already to get here, and that's how we determine our champions, Doug.
It's a little bit of a different breakdown between the timed events and the rough stock events. And the timed events, with the exception of the barrel racing, they've all had 2 go-rounds already. When we get to the barrel racing and the rough stock events, they've all had 1 go-round. So tonight we're going to be looking for the best score on 2 coming in.
Well, and I tell you what, we talked about some of our matchups, but there's a whole lot of matchups we didn't talk about. There are some amazing matchups between cowboys and horses, cowgirls that are going to be back here again trying to seek those 2nd and 3rd championships here at the Wainwright Stampede. I'm just excited to get the darn thing underway, and it's going to start very, very shortly.
Well, you know, this is one of those rodeos that if you're a cowboy or a cowgirl, you need to check off on your bucket list. When you get a buckle from the Wainwright Stampede, I think it means just a little bit more. Everybody knows on both sides of the 49th parallel, and we're talking about Australians as well, coming here, that when you wear that Wainwright buckle, you are indeed a cowboy or cowgirl of some note. There's no doubt about that.
Well, that's right. And, of course, what's so important is we're really getting into the meat of our 2013 season now. And you pick up a big win here at Wainwright, it can really propel you into that, you know, July 1st, July 4th, what we call Cowboy Christmas. Whole lot of rodeos, a whole lot of money available. And it is all about that road to the CFR that we're all about as well.
Yes, exactly, for the chance to become the Canadian champion. But if you're not there for the Canadian finals, you cannot be the Canadian champion. And each rodeo like this is an opportunity. This is one of our highest paying rodeos of the entire year. This is almost like doubling up. When you win here at Wainwright, you win a lot of money.
Well, and you know the other thing, when we talk about matchups, let's talk about the fact that there are a whole lot of Canadian, world, former champions here. Outstanding array of cowboys and cowgirls. You'll take a look at the lineup. It is terrific.
Oh, you bet. And the bucking stock is back here warming up. I was back in the pens. I look back at the stock. They are looking good. I tell you what, they are ready to go on this Sunday night in the battle for the buckles.
Well, and you talk about the stock. Let's talk about Mr. Vold, who brings the stock here along with Outlaw Buckers and a whole lot of other great stock as well. But I love some of those matchups, and we talk about horses like Awesome and Chet Johnson and that matchup, and Taos Muncie and the horse that he's got. And how about, who's Brian Bain? How about Brian Bain in the bareback riding? The 3rd year in a row he's getting on the same horse in the championship round here at Wainwright. And the first 2 times he was 1st and 2nd. That's not bad.
I'll tell you. There's our young ladies lining up down there right now. They're saluting the flags. Each one of our sponsor flags gets us an opportunity to fly in front of our local people on out here. The sponsors here at this rodeo are absolutely fantastic. When you come back year after year, you see some of the same names, and they get behind this community year after year in a big way.
Well, and while that's going on, of course, we're located right in behind the chutes, tucked into sort of a very important area, a very busy area. Cowboys and cowgirls getting ready, as you pointed out, doing their warm-ups, kind of getting them that mental preparation. We know about the physical preparation, but there's a whole lot of mental preparation that goes into it, particularly, I think, in the rough stock events.
Oh, that's right. In all of our rough stock events, the stock that we have here tonight, you can't make a mistake on. You cannot afford to relax at all. You have to have your mental game in order. You have to be tuned up. And physically, you have to be great, too. Gone are the days when you could come in just a little bit out of it. These cowboys are gunning for the money tonight.
Well, and it's because they are professional cowboys and cowgirls. Let's not overlook that. But, you know, we talk about this is professional sport now. It is no longer a weekend deal where you had a job from Monday to Friday. Maybe go to a couple of rodeos on the weekend, drink a little beer, and maybe win some money if things go right. It's not like that now. These guys are on a very particular workout regimen. They're as mentally prepared as you can possibly get. They do their homework before they ever get to the rodeo. You talk to any of these guys, and they'll tell you, take, for example, the steer wrestlers. Overheard Tanner Milan talking with Lee Graves before the event today, and they're talking about the steers. They know each and every one of them.
Home and native land, true the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you.
Well, you know, when we fly that Canadian flag, it makes us all very, very proud, and it goes back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier when you talk about the problems that are going on in southern Alberta. Certainly we're thinking about all of those great folks as well.
You bet. We're all Canadians. We're all with you. We'll get through this. And to see that Canadian flag fly on this beautiful Canadian evening here in Alberta, it makes you proud.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to the bareback riding, and in the Cowboys bareback riding, it's one cowboy, one horse, one hand in the rigging for 8 bone-jarring, arm-jerking, back-breaking seconds as we get set for Clint Lay of Cadogan, Alberta, going to be the first man. As we exit the arena with those great flags, we are getting all set. Clint Lay going to be the first man coming in here with 84 points.
Oh, boy, this is my cowboy to win tonight, Dave. He's got a great horse. These young ladies are just making their final laps around the arena so we can recognize those sponsors.
Well, I told you that we're right in the middle of all of the action central back here, and Lacey Suter, who is one of our barrel racers, her mom just went by, and she is really, really weird. It's what she is. I'm going to tell you that right now, and I hope that all of her friends and neighbors are hearing this back in Cessford and tell her about it.
Oh, look at these riders. Isn't that just great? We watched them perform earlier today during the chuck wagon racing. These young ladies are on their game. They practice a lot for this rodeo. It's evident. You can see the way they ride.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're absolutely right. And such precision. You know, look at the horses. Look at the cowgirls. They're just doing a terrific job, as they have done throughout the entire 60th annual Wainwright Stampede.
And you can tell these are all ranch-raised young ladies. Look how relaxed they are on those horses. The horses are relaxed underneath them. Great matchups, great riders, great horses. And now they speed things up as they head on out of here, down the racetrack.
And they love that run out. They just pick up the pace a little bit and hustle out, and a great job done by our cowgirls in the grand entry tonight. Well, the stage is set. We are ready for our first bareback rider, and we talked about it a moment ago. Now, our officials, of course, will mark the Cowboys 1-25, the Bucking Horse 1-25, and Clint Lay of Cadogan, Alberta, going to be the first man. Now, he brings 84 points into this with him. Remember, it's the total on 2. And, Doug, got a pretty good horse to ride right here.
Oh, boy, this is OLS Tubbs Ross River. This is a Canadian champion bucking horse, won the title in 2010, was the runner-up to the title in 2011. This horse has been to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. I picked this guy tonight, Dave, because I know him the best. I've known him since he was born, and he's a good cowboy from a third-generation rodeo family. And I tell you what, Clint has got a very strong left arm. He's going to rear back and ride this horse. And for those of you that are not familiar, we're talking about 8 seconds. Let's get ready.
Well, I'll tell you what, he really burst on the scene kind of last year and really came to prominence, went to the Canadian Finals Rodeo. That's a great shot right there as we see it. He's inserting that gloved hand into that suitcase handle like bareback rigging that Katie Lucas talks about in our Rodeo 101 bareback riding. And you look right here as he gets ready. Got to have the heels of the boots over the points of the shoulders. He's ready, Doug.
We're about ready to rear back and do it. Clint Nolge is headed. We're outside. Take a look at this big roan horse. Now there's a cowboy getting to it. Heels of the boots out over the points of the horse's shoulders, and Clint is spurring along. Now that is the 8-second horn. Here comes the rescue squad right here, Dave. The Dodge boys, the Dodge pickup men. That's Jim Keltz and Gary Rempel out there. One behind the horse, one beside the horse. Get the hand out of the bareback rigging, and there we are. Clint is down and all right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really liked what I saw from Clint Lay right there. We call it beat him to the ground in the bareback riding, where the heels of the boots try to get out over that shoulders before those horses' front feet hit the ground. And we're going to take another look at it. You're going to get a real good opportunity here to see that. Watch his feet. That's where the money is. See, those heels are to the shoulders before the horse's front feet hit the ground each and every time. That's a money ride right there.
You bet. That's exactly what you want to see. That is a big, strong horse, and Clint made that horse look like he was easy to ride. Ready to get down with our next cowboy. Ready to stay down inside. This horse looks a lot like Ross River right here.
As we get ready, that's Reed Rowan down there, 7 Persons Alberta. He's got River Reflection. This is a full brother to that Ross River. Does look exactly like him.
Well, these horses were raised in Saskatchewan, and you can see the wild man is getting down there tonight. Those spurs are right there. Oh, yeah. Steps away, and you can see the neck brace down there. That is a wild spurring cowboy. Reed Rowan looks back to that horse and says, boy, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to survive that one.
Now, Clint Lay, by the way, posted 83.5 with his earlier 84, so he's going to be in at 167.5. And Reed Rowan just checked in as well at 83.5 to go with the 79.5 he brought into the round.
There's a replay of the ride. That horse is a little out of line on the front end, but he has tied with Clint Lay with another 83.5. That's kind of what we expected. Horses that are full brothers and good cowboys with an identical score.
Well, let's go to the Canadian champion. The reigning Canadian titleist is J.R. Vizane of Cowley, Wyoming. Good looking from the Outlaw Buckers. This horse has a big-time reputation. So does the Cowboy. Now, J.R. Vizane coming in here at 81.5 points. Wants to put a whole bunch more on the board right there with that ride, Doug.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the rescue squad. Gary Rempel up there beside him. Jim Kelt's riding in behind. That custom-fitted bareback rigging is tough for the Cowboys to get his hand out of. And watch this. This left leg might drop down a little bit right about there. Not up where it should be. Now, in our critique of the ride tonight, we know absolutely nothing about the bareback riding, but the judges know everything. Our Wrangler officials will be scoring our Cowboy. The score will be back in just a moment. Do you have it, Dave?
J.R. Vizane is in with 78 points, so he's about 159.5 on 2. Now, of course, everything we're saying is pretty much unofficial. What is official is Matt Lane of Cowley, Alberta, is getting ready. He comes in here at 82.5 on his first ride. And I talked to Matt. He was awfully happy to have Dallas Team Sexy Bucks, the horse that they wanted on here 1 year ago.
This is a great horse. This horse was raised in Saskatchewan. This horse's sire is actually a registered quarter horse, a born race quarter horse, a running quarter horse that actually went to the racetrack and was bucking the jockeys off. They brought that horse home, became a bucking horse, and a great bucking horse sire. Matt is sitting down there waiting on his horses. We've still got a horse in the arena as our pickup men are working to take that other horse on out of here. What a great night. What a great crowd. The stands are full here tonight in Wainwright.
Well, I'll tell you what, and they're excited about it. Of course, it comes down to a championship round. There's nothing more exciting than a short go or championship round in Canadian professional rodeo, because what it means is we simply ratchet up everything. We bring back the very best of the best in terms of stock and in terms of the Cowboys, because it's the top 10 throughout the first performances who earn the right to be back here.
Exactly. Some elimination rounds are what we're talking about. There goes our horse. We'll give our pickup men just a moment to come on back into the arena as Matt Late gets ready. Dave, you rode some bareback horses. Does this bother you at all when you've got to sit in the chutes with your hand in the rigging like that?
Yeah, as a matter, well, it bothered me because I was pretty much terrified the entire time anyway. But I'll tell you something, Matt Lade, it's not going to bother a veteran like that. Young guy maybe, but this guy's been on so many bucking horses over the years that he's fine with it. He'll just kind of regroup, reset, get his mind right, because everything is going to depend on right now.
We're on outside, and we need to be 84 to go to the lead. There's our Cowboy spurring along in time with the horse. That's the kind of spur stroke that's taken him to Canadian Finals rodeo. That's the end of the ride. The official part of it now as our pickup men slide along beside. Jim Keltz is right there. The replay on the ride. Dave, talk about the spur stroke this guy showed us.
I'll tell you what, I love it. I love it. This horse really bucks and kicks. See that kick out over the head? They love it when that happens. And how are we going to score him? How about this? As he's in at 83.5.
Good Lord, that's 3 of them already. Good deal. That's a great cowboy as he walks back down there, and he's in good shape at this point in the rodeo year.
Well, Matt Late, by my calculation, and again unofficially, I got him in at about 166 and in second place on the board right now on 2 head.
You bet. We've got Clint Lay on top at 167.5, and then a 165.5 with Matt Late right there. You're right, David. Good deal.
Well, let's go to Morgan, Utah, and Caleb Bennett, who is getting ready right now. Here's a guy who's sitting in the Canadian standings. He's got the Vole bucking horse called Hot Flash. He was 86.5 points, was Caleb Bennett in the Longo round, or the elimination round leading up to this. So he comes in here as the leader. And, of course, that's an advantage because you got 86.5 points already in the bank, and you're riding Hot Flash.
He went to his first Wrangler National Finals rodeo in 2012, and he's got it going on tonight. 2.5-point advantage over Clint Lay coming in here. Nice horse. No extra marks for the get-off right there. That's a good-looking cowboy from Utah right there, Morgan, Utah. We look at the replay of the ride, and look at that horse a little out of line, Dave. That's got to be more difficult to handle, isn't it, for a bear?
It is, yeah. You talk about the degree of difficulty when the horse kind of swoops and swallows and left and right and all over the place. Does make it a little tougher, but didn't seem to hamper that cowboy very doggone much. Let's see what we're going to do for him in terms of a score.
That's going to take him to 164 on 2 by my calculations. Cowboy was 77.5 on that horse tonight.
That's probably a little short of where Caleb Bennett wanted to be. You come in here with the lead, you want a little more than that.
That's old Buckwheat going at it right out there. Good luck, Cowboy. Ranch raised consistent horse, and that is Brian Bade from Culver, Oregon. 3rd time he's had that horse here, Dave.
That's what we talked about. We talked about that earlier, and that's tremendous. How do you do that? It's luck of the draw. I'll tell you what, that's a pretty lucky draw to have the same horse 3 times. He's been 1st and 2nd on him in the short go previously. Let's see what we're going to do this time for him. As Brian Bain, boy, that horse, that was out of line right there. Might not have had the best day that horse has had. Let's see how it's going to affect the score as Brian Bain awaits the decision of our officials.
We'll shake it on out. 3 times he's had that horse. He needs to buy a 649 ticket before we send him back to the U.S. No problem. You can see that cowboy in that big, thick glove. He's got a brace on the arm, a brace on his neck as well. 69 with option for reride. Am I right,
Yes,
Dave?
I think you're right. 69, and he does have another opportunity, so I think we're going to see him again. I'm excited about this, Doug, because this is Luke Creasy. This is my pick, by the way. Let's just look back. Your guy is at 83.5. If my guy can be 84 or higher on neutral hills, I'll tell you what, this is a horse that Wayne Vold bought from Coy Robbie, but a horse that I raised and then sold to Coy, and it went on to Wayne Vold. So I'm excited about the horse, but I'm also excited about this guy. This is a guy who has been riding so very well. When he's healthy, there isn't anybody any better than Luke Creasy, and he is healthy.
Well, I tell you what, he's been winning on both sides of the 49th parallel. He won Huntsville, Texas, Payson, Arizona. He won Grand Prairie. To top it all off, he's a college cowboy. He was the top male student at Texas Tech. And we're outside. Talk about your horse, Dave. She's having a good night.
I like her. I like her. She's kicking. She's bucking. The higher they jump, the harder they kick, the better the judges are going to like it. And he didn't want to go any further than 8 seconds. I don't blame him. I'll tell you what, Luke, that looked good. Let's see what the officials thought, because they know a whole lot more than Doug Young and Dave Paulson. I'll tell you that right now.
That cowboy was dead on. Look at those feet coming straight back. They're together.
That looked nice. I loved it. That Neutral Hills right there had a very, very nice nice trip right there. Let's see how we fared for our cowboy as we await the score.
I think they're talking about 83 and 162.5 on 2. That should put him 3rd in our aggregate so far. This is a little like 3 rounds of golf right here, or 2 rounds of golf for what we're talking about. The best on 2 head of livestock. We're back to the buck shoots.
Yeah, you're right. Luke Creasy was 83. 162.5 is where we've got him, so he's going to be solidly on the board. I'll tell you what, I love the way this is shaping up. As Kyle Bowers, oh man, what can you say about a 2-time Canadian champion, 2 times national finals rodeo qualifier, and maybe, getting towards the tail end of his career, but he can still put together some great rides.
I tell you what, this cowboy is a threat anytime he gets on the back of a bucking horse. He was 83 in the first round. Tonight he has a horse called Circuit Breaker. Alberta raised horse right here. Canadian finals bucking horse. We're outside. This is a big, solid bay gelding right here. Lots of extension, but we're changing direction on that front end. That That horse is doing some lead changing on the front end. That'll be a little more difficult to handle. I don't know whether the judges would like that one quite as much.
Well, we're going to see how Kyle Bowers fared 11 times to the Canadian Finals Rodeo. You talk about consistency. Horse started real good right there, but then had a few different ideas. I think I'll go this direction. No, maybe I'll change my mind. But I'll tell you what, right there, Kyle Bowers is looking solid. You know, this is a guy who can handle a horse that's maybe just a little out of line. Let's see how he fared in terms of his score.
He's a big, solid, experienced cowboy, and there's no substitute for experience. 80-point ride. All right. Good deal. Talking to the Wrangler officials about that one, I think he's pretty happy to survive that one on Sunday night here at the Battle for the Buckles.
Oh, man, it's been outstanding so far. Let's see where we're going next as we get set for our next cowboy. Okay, D.V. Fennell, Inola, Oklahoma, and another horse that I like a whole lot, Centennial from the Vold organization. This could be a real nice matchup, Doug.
Right, this horse is solid, consistent. This horse is 13 years old, into the Wrangler National Finals, to the Canadian Finals Rodeo. This horse was actually raised in Saskatchewan by a man that's raised a lot of bucking horses, Don Peterson. The cowboy tonight, D.V. Fennell, has twice been to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Did that in 2009, 2010. He's been winning as of late, and he is a log home builder when he's not at a rodeo. Can you imagine that?
Don't tell my wife that, because she's been after me to get a log home built, and she finds out this guy's the guy, then we're going to spend a little money right there.
Well, this is the guy you need to talk to. He built his own house right from scratch. He's down in there tonight. You can see that big, thick glove on that right hand. This cowboy knows that the cash is on the line. Now watch him handle his horse carefully. Get that body up against that bareback rigging. Get ready to nod. Outside. Look at that one. There's some extension. There's that horse changing direction again tonight. Cowboy spurring, doing his best on the back of that horse. That looks good. Hang on, DV. Whoa.
Horse started to the left and went back to the right. Didn't make the job any too easy, and you can see DV maybe not 100% happy with the way that ended for sure.
Well, he was 81 solid points in our first round. The scores are coming back at 79 from our Wrangler officials here tonight. That'll drop him back in there. 160 on 2 head of livestock in the bareback riding for D.V. Fennell.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll work on the get off maybe next time. Good job. Good job, D.V. I liked it. Well, as you take a look at our board right now, Clint Lay is up at the top with that 167.5. Matt Late right behind him at 166 on 2 head. That's where we sit right now.
Well, back into the go-round, you can see another cowboy getting set on the back of the horse. Dave, how tight do you cinch that bareback rigging down? What do we do here?
Real tight. And first of all, you do that. And then, of course, you wedge that hand in as tightly as you can get it as well, because that handhold, the heels of your boots and the seat of your Wranglers are the only contact points you're going to have with the bucking horse as we get ready right now.
Well, our horse is crouching a little bit. This is Jesse Davies from Power, Montana. And this is True Grit. Dave, you know this horse. This is a good one.
Oh, I love what we're doing. We've seen Reed Rowan just last week with an 85 score over there at Innisfail. That's a nice bucking horse ride right there. I really like what Jesse Davis, the Power Montana, did. And he was impressive as well at Innisfail. This is a nice little matchup right here. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
He held those spurs for just an extra jump tonight before he went to work, spurring that horse on out of there. That looks good. Oh, I think we might have a lead change coming. Yes, we do.
Oh, my. How about 86.5? Oh, he's going to like that. But let's go to Katie Lucas right now. I think she's got a special guest. Making its Canadian debut, the stunning new exhibition, Body Worlds and the Cycle of Life, is your opportunity to peer behind the curtain and see the concert inside yourself as you've never seen it before. Visit DestinationEdmontonHotels.com for more information.
We're going to wait on one of our champions. As it sits right now, Clint Lay, 167.5 on 2. Our proud sponsors of the Bareback.
All right, Katie, I think she's got the winner with us right now, Katie Lucas.
Thanks, Dave. Yes, I'm behind the chutes here with Clint Lay. Clint, you've just won the Wainwright Pro Rodeo. At 20 years old, you're doing really great in your career. How are you feeling about this win?
Well, I'm still 19, actually, but this win's awesome. I haven't won much money lately, and I've been going pretty hard, so it feels really good to win here and be so close to home and have everybody here watching me.
You're sitting great in both the Canadian and the world standings right now. You're in the finals for both. What's going through your mind this season, and what are your plans?
Oh, it's just awesome to have these opportunities, and I'm just going to keep having fun and try not to worry about that till the end of the season.
Okay. Who do you look up to right now, being such a young competitor?
Well, I actually look up to Ty Fast, Tip-a-tat. He's really good and keeps me pumped up and going.
Right. Well, thanks, Clint, and good luck with the rest of your rodeo season. Back to you, Dave.
Well, and let's not forget, of course, we haven't forgotten that Brian Bain still has that re-ride coming back. We're going to see him a little bit late. All right, well, let's get to the tie-down roping right now as Dean Edge, the man that I chose, Doug, is going to be our first guy. Comes in at 20.8 on 2, and you talked about the fact these guys have already roped 2 calves to get here.
Well, they've got the feel of the arena. They know how fast the calves are going to run. And I think that Sid he's riding tonight, that's a champion rope horse right there. Been recognized as the tie-down roping horse of the year 3 times. Canadian Professional Rodeo. Dean himself is a second-generation cowboy. He watched his father for years in professional rodeo. The late Barry Edge. He's down there tonight. Look at how relaxed that horse is, Dave. Isn't that great to see? We're about ready to explode out of that timed event end down there, and that horse knows his job so good. He's listening to the cowboy up top. Dean has got his ropes ready to go. They're bringing up the Texas Longhorn calf right now to load and get ready to go. For those of you not familiar, the cowboy is going to attempt to rope the calf. Then we get down and try and tie 3 legs on the calf. Now the horse will be left alone for just an instant to stabilize the calf during the run, and that's the kind of thing you cannot build into a calf roping horse. Horses have to have that instinctive ability. You can accentuate it a little bit. A good cowboy like Dean Edge can bring out the best in just about whatever horse you run underneath him. We're ready to go.
All right, well, Dean is moving into position right now as you watch him. And Dean Edge, you talk about that veteran savvy, 6 times been a Canadian Finals rodeo qualifier. Oh, watch him, get ready. Now you rope him with the long one, you tie him with the short one, and that's how it works, and the fastest guy wins the money.
Well, we know we've got a good cowboy. We know he's on a good horse. The big variable is that Texas Longhorn calf down in here. We know they're all just about the same size. We know they all run just about the same. Demon is down there watching that calf. Whenever he's pleased with the position of the calf, he'll nod his head, run away. There goes the calf.
Here's where the money's won or lost right here. You get to that calf, put him on the ground, get that piggin string on one, bring up the hind legs. I like it. Dean Edge in a hurry down there. Let's see what we're going to add to him. Now it's 9 and 5 on the clock. However, oh, check me on that, 9 flat, even faster. 9 seconds flat for Dean Edge. We'll add that to where he's at right now. As we look at Dean Edge, he'll be very, very solidly in contention right now.
That went very well for that cowboy. Kept that calf on his feet down there, and that's the initial thing that you need to do after you catch that calf. You can be a little bit quicker.
Got him at about 29 and 8 on his run, 3-run total.
Good deal.
Dean Edge is at.
He takes his horse back. We get ready to go with our next cowboy. Next cowboy came in overall 9th overall. This is Shane Hanchey. Comes from Sulphur, Louisiana.
Showed us how it was done there, but let's give you.
There we go. That's our reigning Canadian champion right now. He's twice been to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Been hot of late. He won Redding, California. He won the Denver Stock Show this year in January. This guy is so quick, Dave.
Well, he's part of that American contingent of great cowboys and cowgirls that have been coming to Canada lately, and they've been winning a whole lot of money. Here's our reigning Canadian champion. Got a hard-running calf. He had to chase this calf maybe a little further than he wanted to be. Going to have to be real fast on the ground. And the calf kicks a little bit, but not bad. Shane Hanchey posting a pretty solid 8 and 8. And right now, let's go down to Katie Lucas and check out Rodeo 101 calf roping, tie-down roping, Katie.
Well, our first 2 competitors really showed us how it's done. The tie-down roping is known as the most technical event in rodeo. The ropers must first leave the box, staying behind that rope barrier till the calf is allowed its allotted head start. Once out of the box, he can rope the calf and dismount his horse. His horse then must back up, working the rope or keeping it tight for the cowboy as he runs down, flanks, and ties his calf. Hands up in the air signals the end of the run. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Katie. Dave, you know this young man right here, third-generation Canadian cowboy tie-down roper.
Well, and Dad is a Hall of Famer. Dad's horse is a Hall of Famer, and this is the young gun from the Robinson family, Innisfail, Alberta cowboy. He's at 20-1 right now on his 2 runs. Let's see how quick he can be.
Robinson's got another great calf horse on their hands right here. Horse stops just right. That's a big, heavy calf right there. Take a look at that youngster. Yahoo! Saturday Night Live.
Well, I like that.
Back to the horse, ride forward, slacken things up. Let's wait for 6 seconds. That
No-
looked good.
No championship round jitters for that guy. Nice job. 8 and 9 for Ben Robinson right there. Look at that. Good fast hands. Everything done well.
Oh, man.
Done well.
I'll tell you, that was great. That'll make everybody hustle from here on out. Letting everybody know that he deserves to be here. We'll add that to his resume. 8.9 on Sunday night here at the Battle of the Buckles.
Well, and as he rides out, Lee Rombo is going to ride in. Sexsmith, Alberta, coming in at 19-6 on his 2 runs. Now, here's a guy, Doug, that, you know, maybe flies under the radar just a little bit. We don't talk a lot about this Sexsmith cowboy, but Lee Rombo, I think, is a guy that we are going to hear a whole lot from in the months and years ahead.
You bet. He's a good rider, great roper. 1, 2, 3 to the calf. That calf's got a little more run. Now down to the calf. Calf's waiting for him, jumps into his arms. This will be a little quicker. That a boy.
Now, he gambled a little bit. Went with 1 wrap and a half hitch rather than the traditional 2. The gamble, of course, is that calf will stay tied the required 6 seconds. And you watch it on the replay. Watch what he does right here. He's going to rope this calf. Now, he's going to very quickly get down to that calf. Does that well. Now, watch this part, okay? 1 wrap, and there's the half hitch. Very quick. Nice job.
Aha.
8 and 8. I like it.
No risk, no reward. He goes to the lead on 3 head of livestock tonight. Good job. You were right, Dave. He's somebody to watch.
Well, here's your pick, and I said in our opening, if you're going to pick a guy with the last name Cooper, you got a pretty good chance of winning. These 3 brothers, of course, son of Super Looper Roy Cooper, these 3 brothers were the first time that 3 brothers all qualified for the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, and all of them in the same event, and all of them are terrific.
Well, this is the family business. His grandfather was a great roper as well, Tuffy Cooper. Super Looper Roy Cooper has been here with us at the Wainwright Stampede in years gone by. And Clint is ready tonight. You can see he's got a look of determination. Clint's been very relaxed. He's been here all day. We watched him practice roping in behind with a bale today. He's getting tuned up for tonight. Always rides a great horse. They all do.
Well, Brother Cliff was a big factor last week at Innisfail. Let's see if Brother Clint can do the job this time around. And, of course, Brother Tuff has been a Canadian and world champion. And a little slip right there. Oh, man, look at that. He just caught too much calf is what happened right there. That's just a tough break.
We're going to watch the figure 8 on this loop when we get to the replay. He throws that head loop on there clean, but watch the figure 8 on the bottom of the loop. Calf steps in it with both front feet. Now, when he goes to get a hold of the front leg on this calf, it's already up there, tied in with the other one in the neck. He knows he's not going to win any money, and we can hear the crowd here tonight giving him a hand and thanking him for coming here from Texas. Clint Cooper.
All right, we're going to move over to Cheney, Kansas now, and Cody Quaney, he picked up a nice check out there at Innisfail at our first stop on our road to the CFR coverage. Let's see if he can do it back-to-back. Of course, we've got all kinds of great action on our road to the CFR Tour. Heading off to Ponoka next, Medicine Hat, Strathmore, and of course it all wraps up with our Canadian Finals Rodeo.
6 days. We hope you're going to come and enjoy along with us at the Canadian Finals Rodeo. This is the first time we've seen this young man in Canada, and he comes in here with his guns loaded. Very athletic young man, watching that calf. Got that rope ready to go. Now we'll just reset that horse back in the corner. These horses have to start like a racehorse in a starting gate, but there's no gate in front of them. Horse reacts to the cue of the cowboy, and he's a little bit late. Clean around the neck for that calf, keeps him upright. Big, heavy calf. Grab the front. There we go. Nice tie. Good quick tie.
You know, we've got several calves that have really run hard. If you're even a little bit late, you're going to be behind these calves, and you've got a whole lot of ground to make up. you want to be catching that calf as quickly as you can because, of course, it's all about those valuable tenths of a second.
Exactly. Looks like our Cowboy 9-1, I believe, is the score, the time rather, that we're getting back. That's a good job for as far as he went down the pen. That's a good quick tie on that calf. We'll be watching for him at the Ponoka Stampede next weekend.
You know, we've had several guys who've chased that calf a long way and then still had very respectable times, indicative of just how good they have been on the ground. As we get ready now, we're going to Timber Moore of Aubrey, Texas. Cousin Clayton, outstanding Canadian roper and steer wrestler. Timber is a Canadian Rookie of the Year back in 2007, twice been to the Canadian finals. Comes in at 18-4 on his 2 runs previous to this, so he's in second place throughout our elimination rounds, or longo rounds, if you will. Coming to the short round, the championship round, in second spot.
E2 is a long, tall Cowboy. Turns this one out. There, that's a nice catch. Now that calf just steps around, jumped right into his arms. We're going to make money, honey. There we go.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Holy Dinah. 7-7 for the Aubrey, Texas Cowboy. Let's watch this one again. You have to watch fast because he's not very long at it. Look at this. On the ground, pig and string, up with the hind legs, and bingo, 7-7 takes Timber Moore to the lead on 3 head. That was sensational.
Oh, that is a nice job right there. Good deal, Cowboy.
Well, we're going to stay down in the southern U.S., and we're going to move over to Idabel, Oklahoma for Shane Slack. National Finals Rodeo as a rookie back in 1996. He's a guy who's made over a couple of $100,000 in his career. 19 flat is where he's at right now, so he's going to have to be down in that low 7 to catch the man we just saw.
Well, this Cowboy's looking to move up in the world standings as well. We might have a change in the order down there. We can see our Wrangler officials talking to the Cowboys down there. Calves are drawn for the Cowboys prior to rodeo time. All our calves carry tag numbers. They match the names of the Cowboys with the number of the calf.
Yeah, I think we're okay. It is Shane Slack who's now moved in behind that barrier. Haven't talked a lot about the barrier, but that calf, of course, is given a required head start, and if you break that barrier, we're going to add 10 seconds in barrier time. Penalty time, 2-year time.
We do not need that tonight with a 7-7 leading, and then we've got an 8-8 and a 9-1. I tell you, it is a busy night. You have got to take some chances tonight in the tie-down roping. There is absolutely no point in following a calf down the arena. You have to get that rope out of your hand as quickly as you can.
Well, of course, Timber Moore with his 26-1 on 3 is now our leader. That sensational 7-7, putting him in the driver's seat. Let's see what happens right here with Shane Slack.
Well, that calf is off to the right. He's going to handle it well. Whoa! Oh, there we go. Uh-oh. That's 250 pounds of calf right there, Dave. That is a tough clean and jerk on Sunday night. Good deal. We'll go ahead and finish this one off. We can hear the crowd in the background giving him a hand.
Well, it's kind of a consolation round of applause when that kind of a deal happens. That's certainly not something that you want to take place on a championship round. Tough break right there for a good Cowboy.
That calf was hard to the right, and our Cowboy stepped down there and handled it really well. This calf is just heavy. Oh,
and uncooperative.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to Stetson Vest. Here's a guy who's talented, good-looking, rich. He's a Wrangler model. He's a talented athlete. I really don't like this guy.
He's nothing going for him at all,
Not a
does he?
thing. I can't believe it. All right, Stetson Vest getting ready. He comes in at 18-5 on his 2 runs previous. So if he could get down into that 7, mid-7s, he could take the lead right here.
This young man is hunting for a world title this year. He's 12th in the world standings. He's been with us just a little while this year on the Canadian Tour. He's already jumped up into the top 20 in the Canadian Tour. And he took a look at his cousin down there, Clint Cooper. Clint's telling him how to handle things. Let's back that horse on in there. These are quick horses. These horses have a great burst of speed, and then they stop and back up. These Cowboys train these horses, get them ready for these rodeos. I tell you, very busy night. Outside. That's a good start. Calf is waiting for him. Big heavy lift right there. All right. Little slow with the tie.
And you can see the body language telling you that as he walks back to that horse. That's not that excited run back that a guy feels like, oh man, I just really nailed it. Not this time. Had a little bit of a problem on the ground, and it's going to be costly for him.
That's too bad. Stetson Vest is out of contention tonight.
Well, he's at 10-1, and as you said, that's where things kind of started to go south on him, right about there. However, 10-1, certainly respectable. He's still on the leaderboard, down in about 4th place overall right now. Timber Moore, still our leader.
He really turned up the heat tonight with that 7-7. I don't know if we can make a quicker run than that, Dave, with the quick conditions that we've got here. We've got some great cowboys still to go. Timber Moore in the driver's seat.
Well, Ryle Smith is the guy who comes in here as the overall leader. Now, he comes in at 17-5 on 2. So if he can get down around that 7-second mark, in fact, I don't think he has to be even that fast. He can be a little bit longer because he's got a bit of a cushion here at 17-5 on 2. He's got almost a second lead. Now, that 7-7, if he could be about 8-5, he could do it. Let's see if he's going to be that fast.
You bet the Californian is down. Oh, he missed flank that calf. He had to do it twice. Step back in there, hurry the tie. Oh, that took a little extra time. Back to the horse. Great calf roping horse right there. We wait for 6 seconds for it to become official. He's a little long.
Yeah, he is a little long. He's at 10-2, so that's unfortunate. Just took him just a little bit too long right there. So you take another look at it and see where things kind of went south on him. Yeah, he saw the slip right there, and he had to kind of double clutch to get that calf back down to the ground. Now goes to work on him and is in at 10-2. That's too bad.
That looks good. The breakdown of the top 3 looks like Lee Rombaugh is going to pick up 3rd place, Ryle Smith to 2nd, and Timber Moore, the Texan-Canadian, in 1st place tonight. Great job, 7-7. That was hurrying on.
And I think Katie Lucas may have an opportunity to visit with our champion here in a moment.
And we got a healer. Steaming up in time. Wainwright style. We're going to start it with a couple of cowboys that come to us from Saskatchewan. The Pesco brothers, Tyler and Jesse.
All right, Timber, 8th in Canada, 9th in the world, and after a win like this, you're probably going to climb up the standings. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's a great rodeo. Like you said, hopefully I keep propelling towards making the CFR and the NFR, and hopefully all is well the rest of the summer as well.
Where are you headed to next?
Headed to Pinoco on Tuesday and then driving to Reno.
Right. How has the season been going for you so far? Obviously pretty good. How are your horses working? And I see you're sharing a horse tonight. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm riding Curtis Cassidy's horse, Stick. I rode him at the finals the year I made it, and I rode him most of the winter down there and won a bunch on him. He's a great horse. Like I said, Curtis owns him and let Ryle ride him tonight also, and me and him won 1st and 2nd, so it was a good deal for all of us.
Right. How important is that good horse?
It means a lot. I mean, you can take a really talented guy and a bad horse, and they won't win nothing, but, you know, if you take a good horse and an average guy, and he'll set the world on fire.
Thanks, Timber. Now we'll move to the team roping.
Well, good job for Timber Moore in the tie-down roping. Now we're going to have 2 ropers working together as we get ready right now in the team roping.
These are the 3rd generation rodeo brothers from Glentworth, Saskatchewan, Jesse and Tyler Popescal, turning their horses back around down in there. These are youngsters. I tell you what, these kids are here to win some money. Their Uncle Murray Linthicum is very well known in the world of rodeo. Their grandfather, George Peskel, was a Canadian Cowboys Association champion. Their dad, Wade, a champion as well. These are good-looking kids, I tell you what, and good kids. Straighten that head horse around. That horse looks excited tonight, and I would be too. We're talking about $2,000 to win the long go-around, and that's per cowboy here at the Battle of the Buckles. Watching this, let's go. Outside. Now there's that head loop going on there around the neck. We need 2 feet. We have none.
Yeah, shucks, on the backside. This is called team roping because it is a team event. Both guys have to do things right. Both guys can take penalties. We don't want any of that happening, but unfortunately on the backside here, they took the no time, not able to pick up those back heels. If the guy catches only one back heel, it's a 5-second penalty. And again, that barrier penalty comes into play on the head side.
That's exactly right. We're going to get down in that 6-second range tonight. Now, I talked to some of the team ropers a little earlier today, and they said with that ground being a little soft on top, that the ropes might be a little bit dead on the heel end. They might not have some bounce to them. We saw that rope that the Pesco boys threw in there on the back end, and it just kind of died when it hit the ground. So that might come into play. I think maybe tonight, the stiffer the rope, the better, the harder the rope. Backed in, ready. Travis Booth, Clint Maddox, inside.
Well, a couple of Canadian Finals Rodeo Cowboys last year, and let's see how quick they can be. They were 18-7 on their 2 runs to get them here. But you know, you can come in at the bottom end, and if you light it up in the short go in the championship round, you can still be the champion.
Exactly, we saw that with Timber Moore. Header man slowed up, made sure he didn't break that barrier, made sure on the heel end. All right, qualified, that's what we need. We've talked about the 6-second runs tonight. Oh, we're getting a penalty on that one. I saw him hold up on the head end. Did he still break that barrier?
I
Yes,
think maybe he did. You could see him trying to not break the barrier, but that's exactly what happened. 6 and 5 got away. You could see that guy trying so hard to hold that horse up, but the horse wants to charge out there and start doing its job, and here that 10-second penalty does kick in, and 16 and 5 is the result.
Well, we're going for the money tonight. There's absolutely no point in being late. If you're not taking chances, you're not trying hard enough. Our next team of ropers sat down there, spinning their ropes. You know these cowboys, one of the McCarroll brothers, Matt Fawcett, Dave, Justin McCarroll.
And they're in at 17-2, Cam Rose and Stetler. If your last name is McCarroll, I think you're going to be a team roper. It sure seems that way, and they're all good ones, too. It's kind of like Cooper's in the tie-down roper.
It'd be a quiet Christmas dinner if you weren't a team roper, I'll tell you. What else would you talk about?
Isn't that right? Say, I'd like to talk about my piano playing skills. Yeah, well, not at this table. Oh, man, okay. Let's watch him get ready.
Barrier's played into it. He slowed up. We're not breaking the barrier this time. We're a little bit late. Watch the healer band come around. There are 2 heels just right. When the steer is drawn tight between the horses, that's when our field flag judge will drop the flag. Now, no broken barriers, no missed heels. As we watch it back on the rerun, clean around the horns. That is the preferred type of head catch. 6.9. Good job. Take the lead. Apply the pressure.
Well, that 6 and 9 combined with their 17-2 going to put them in at about 24-1 unofficially. I'm kind of doing those figures in my head, and you know that may not work. Sid Sporer of Cody, Wyoming, and Sean Bessette of Vaughan, Montana. These guys come up to this side of the 49th parallel with some regularity, and they usually go home with a whole bunch of Canadian dollars.
That's exactly right. They're very accurate ropers. Now, as we slide in from 10th on down to 1st in the order tonight, we're getting quicker as we go, which means the Cowboys, as we get lower in the order, have a little more room to perhaps be just a little bit slower. This Montana man on the backside, I tell you what, he can throw that heel loop. Nothing prettier in the world than watching that heel loop time by the Cowboy on the back end. Cowboys have been dealing with that barrier tonight and handling it pretty well. Looks like the deal is to maybe turn the steers out a little bit. Let's see. These ropes are made of nylon. You can see that Cowboy spinning that loop out there, making sure it's measured properly. Outside, I think he scored that one perfectly. Dave, no head catch.
No, we couldn't drop the loop over the head of those calves, so unfortunately didn't quite work. But I'll tell you one thing, you know, you talk how many ropes would these guys throw in the course of a year as they practice? Wow, huh?
Well, it's their business. I tell you, a lot of these cowboys get up in the morning. They go to roping steers at 8 o'clock in the morning. They stay with it till supper time, go in and eat, come back out and do it some more. Practice makes for perfect performance.
Hey, take a look at this right now. August 15th to 25th, North America's largest and oldest theater festival. The Edmonton Fringe Festival captivates visitors and performers from all over the world. Book your Edmonton adventure at destinationedmontonhotels.com today. All right, our next team in behind the barrier, getting ready right now. Don DePauli, great veteran from Longview, Alberta, been to the Canadian Finals rodeo a few times over. He and Travis Nicholson have put together a pretty good team so far in 2013.
I tell you, Travis Nicholson on the head side is a great big guy. He's got 30 feet of rope in his hand, and this big man can throw that about 35 feet, and he's just a kid. Watch this reach. The further you are behind that steer, the less catch percentage you have. But this guy is absolutely great. Look behind that steer. We're going left already. Now here comes the veteran. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We haven't seen that from Don DePauli very often.
No, that was just a kind of a tough. I don't think that was maybe the best steer. You know, we talk about the luck of the draw, and it's every bit as important in the timed events as it is in the rough stock events. And here you see this steer really not wanting to cooperate a whole lot, and kind of made the job doubly difficult for the heeler in this case. And unfortunately, no time for DePauli and Nicholson.
He's a bit disappointed about what he did tonight, and the crowd knows that he's a veteran. They know he'll be back next year. Gave him a nice round of applause tonight.
How about Doolin Palominos right here? I tell you, I like that. That's nice. Don't see too many teams.
It's not a requirement, you know.
No, it isn't.
No,
No,
not at all.
You don't have to ride matched horses
Look
or
at
anything.
those horses, stars on their head, the whole deal.
It looks nice. Maybe they are related. I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. We know this. Riley Wilson of Cardston, Jackson Lewis of Vernon. Very, very good. Let's see how quick they're going to be right here. Come on, guys.
Riley Wilson is unconscious on the backside. Well, we didn't see that heel catch. Is that 2 feet in there?
I think
Not
so. I
from
think
our
that
angle.
6 and 4 is what we've got right here. Now let's take another look at it on the head side. There's the turn. Let's see. Now we're going to get a good look at it. Yeah, he got both of them. Nice, 6 and 4.
Oh, good for Riley Wilson. You give Riley Wilson a look at those heels, he'll bring you back 2 toes every time. Good job.
What that does, by the way, is takes those guys to first place overall with that 6 and 4. So Wilson and Lewis atop the board right now.
All right. Steele DePauli, head side. He's from Longview, and we've heard the name already tonight. We saw his dad rope a minute ago. Casper Roy from Mosley is on the backside. 3rd generation team roper. This young man is very good. Now, Steele DePauli can throw that head loop a long way as well, and he rides a great horse. This gray horse has got such a start. This horse has got a lot of run right out there, and then a very smooth corner as that horse goes off to the left. That's the thing that you need. You don't want to be whipping that steer around behind you. You need a good, smooth handle. Casper Roy is ready, too, on the backside.
Well, and he's a great tie-down roper as well as Steele DePauli. And I don't know if we can get a look at the cast on that one leg down there. Maybe he's been able to get it off. Maybe it's a removable cast that he takes off when he's actually climbing in the saddle. But he's riding out here with a broken leg, and let's see what they can do on the head side. Pick up 2. No, sir. Head side did not work. No time.
We needed the curl on that loop to come around that inside horn, back around that left horn. Let's see if we can see that. We're going to get that right horn, no problem, but when he goes to pull his slack, bounces off the inside horn, it's all for naught. No time.
All right, well, let's take a look at this right now. All right, as we're ready, our next team rolling into position. This is Brady and Kyle, the Chapel boys from Moose Jaw, Gravelburg. Didn't you pick these guys in the team?
I picked these guys. I've been watching these young men grow up in the world of team roping. We've got Kyle on the front end. We've got Cousin Brady on the back end. Watch this heel horse. Kyle will jump out. Kyle, we need 2 horns. That a boy. Look at this heel horse. Oh, boy, we're tight to the fence down there. Uh-oh. We've only got 1 heel in there, so we'll be adding 5. Too bad for those Cowboys. 12 and 7 now total running time. 7 and 7 in 5 seconds. This steer got tight to the fence, and that's the thing about this arena. I've roped here. And you know what? That fence comes up very quickly, and there's not a lot of room to throw your rope in between the fence and that steer. Did as good as he could on the back end. 12 and 7. they're not going to take home the buckles, Dave.
Well, Jeremy Bueller and Dylan Parker might, though. I'll tell you what, there's another one of these teams that's been put together here in 2013, and I'll tell you, they can be very, very fast. Now, they come in here right now at 10-8 is where they're sitting. So let's see what we're going to be able to do with the Arrowwood and Ward, Montana man right here. Hands across the border, Jeremy Bueller, Dylan Parker.
Exactly. As we get deeper in the order, these Cowboys have had more opportunity to watch the steers. We'll see a lot of them sitting up on the chute back there. This steer comes to the left. Ah, man. No head catch.
Doggone it, they just had to be 9 and 8 or faster. But sometimes, that's almost a hindrance to you. Sometimes you want to be, you just want to be as fast as you possibly can. When you think you got a little time to play with, that's when you mess up.
Well, when you're practicing team roping, you never practice just to catch. You always practice to win first. And when you get in a position where all you have to do is catch, it's different. You don't know what to do sometimes.
Exactly right. Well, let's watch Levi Simpson of Claresholm and John Robertson of Polson, Montana. These guys have known what to do pretty much throughout the year. They have been lighting it up in the last little while. Holy mackerel.
If this heading horse is ever missing, come look at my place. I love this horse. Look at the run. Now watch the corner. That horse is so smooth. Have we got two, David?
I told you. How about this time? The announcer actually got it right. Oh, my neighbor right here. Look at this.
Good
Head side, back side. I love it. That is nice. How about that 5 and 5 to go with what they already had? They're going to be in at about 15 and 4. That's nice.
I'm glad you're doing the math. I can't do 1/3 of that.
Well,
Dave.
and I'm doing it, but I'm not guaranteeing it by any means.
One team left. Did we save the best till last? Oh boy. No, I think we're done.
I think so. I think maybe Petska and Rogers aren't here. So we're done here in the team roping, and what a great way to finish it off. All right, Katie Lucas has our winners at the ready.
Yep. Well, we've just snagged Levi right in the arena, just coming off of his win. Levi, what was that run like for you after such a great streak of wins?
That just adds to it. We've been on a pretty good hot streak, and come back here, and we didn't actually draw that good to make it back, come back to high team, and just make a good clean run and be able to win another one. It's pretty cool.
What's the rest of the season looking like for you? Are you going down to the States at all?
Yeah, it looks pretty busy. We're about to be going here for the next 2 months. So.
Well, thanks, Levi. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Well, Levi Simpson, of course, riding in that 20X saddle from Frontier Western Shop. We're back to Brian Bain in the bareback riding, and here he is going after. Remember, we talked about we had one to go in the bareback riding. Here's Brian Bain, and the horse he's got is Red Line from the Outlaw Buckers. All right, steps out of there after his 8 seconds of work. Brian Bain, who's been so successful here before, Redmond, Oregon cowboy.
He's a tough cowboy. Clint Lay was on top until this ride. That's a nice horse right there from the Outlaw Buckers, and that horse was fast. That's one of the things the Wrangler officials look at, is how many bucks in that 8 seconds. That might earn you more points as long as we don't run over our Wrangler officials down there.
Well, he's going to be in with 81.5 is the score for Brian Bain, so that's going to be certainly solid, but maybe not quite enough to get him there this time around, where Clint Lay is now official as our champion.
Well, that is great. Who got that one right, Dave? That was my pick in the bareback riding.
All right, we're going to stay at the buck and shoots and continue the action on right now in the saddle bronc riding as we get ready. And Court Shear, Knife Money is the horse.
Knife Money is not the horse. This cowboy is spurring on. This is the horse called Bar Star from the Outlaw Buckers. And our cowboy exits stage left. Good Lord, you don't buck that Wrangler National Finals competitor down like that. Hats off to Outlaw Buckers tonight.
Well, Bar Star, as you commented, just an outstanding horse. And let's take another look and see what happens here to Court Shear, because this is total surprise. Uncharacteristic of this guy, because he looks like he's in good shape, but kind of got tipped around to the left side as that horse went right, and he came down prematurely. Not Court Shear-like at all.
Well, we'll be watching for him at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo this year. Court has been doing well all year long. He's twice been to the Wrangler National Finals. Won round 2 there last year. We always enjoy his performance. There's the measurement of the rain coming right there.
Yeah,
for this cowboy.
yeah, exactly what he's doing right there. And this is Curtis Garton of Lake Charles, Louisiana. He's got Outlaw Buckers bucking horse called Calling Card. Let's watch what he does right here. Now, we talk about the measurement of that rein, Doug. It's very important because take too short a rein, depending on the way the horse carries its head during the ride, you can get pulled down over the head, maybe stepped on in the process. Too long a rein, out the back door.
Cowboys say that you lift on that, and that's actually what keeps your body down inside that saddle. This cowboy's actually from New Zealand. This was my pick to win tonight. Now we're showing you good spurring strokes. We need to get to the front end, however. Hang in there, cowboy. Look at the size of that horse, David. Wow.
That was not easy.
No.
That was not easy. As Curtis Garton came in here at 81.5 Calling Card, that was a tough, tough horse to ride, but he got there. You watch him right here on this replay, and man alive, that horse goes left, then right, then back left again. A whole lot of movement from that horse, and as a result, he's in at 78 points to go with the 81.5 he had. So we're at 159.5 for Curtis Garton.
I don't think that's going to stand up. That's the New Zealander, and I think he's out of contention for the buckle tonight.
Well, Brad Rudolph has been the champion here before. In fact, he's our defending champion. As Brad Rudolph gets ready, comes in at 78.5, so he's got some ground to make up on our leaders up there at 84 points. He's got quitting time from the Outlaw Buckers.
You bet. One of our Outlaw Bucker partners, Chad Byrne, bought this horse last year at the Las Vegas Bucking Horse Sale. This horse is actually from South Dakota. Last year, Brad was 88 to take his buckle home last year, so we'll see if it continues. Cowboys got this horse spotted down inside. Watch for the initial contact rule. Watch for the heels of those boots out over the points of the horse's shoulders. It's the first thing our Wrangler officials look for. Our Cowboy says, just wait a minute. You can see Jim Keltz ride up there on that pickup horse, and the idea is the bucking horse looks out, sees another horse calmly standing there. The idea is to calm the horse down a little bit. And hats off to our camera people. Look at this. Let's ride.
All right, going to work right here. Look at this horse kick. I mean, this is a nice bucking horse, and Brad Rudolph doing a nice job on the horse. I like that matchup a whole lot. Quitting time, just never quit. And neither did Brad Rudolph. Wow, that was nice.
This might be his lucky arena. Turn on out of there, and that cowboy has this rein just right. Throws it out there every jump. Great spurring strokes. Right back to the cantle on that saddle. Missed a little bit right there. Steps on off. Ouch. That's the way I would come off right there.
Well, he's in at 80.5 points to go with his earlier 79.5, so we're going to give him about 160 on 2 right now, and the early lead here in the bronc riding. I don't know that that's going to hold up, 160 on 2.
Well, last year's champion at the #1 spot. This is his lucky arena.
This is Todd Herzog of Penhold getting ready now. He's got Vold's Moving Shadows, a 5 times Canadian Finals bucking horse, and been to the national finals as well as Moving Shadows from the Vold firm. 13-year-old Brown Gelding. And Todd Herzog, I really like what this guy has done. Now, this horse right here bucked off Luke Butterfield, our defending Canadian champion, last week in Innisfail.
Todd's just sliding his feet into the stirrups. We love to watch this cowboy ride. This guy is great with his bronc rein. He'll throw it out there at the horse, expose himself a little bit to the horse. He's one of the quickest cowboys to get that spurring stroke going. He always checks to make sure that he's got those feet down over the points of the horse's shoulders. Todd Herzog and Moving Shadows. This horse has been to the Wrangler National Finals as well. Now that's that look of determination. Outside. Looking good. Whoa!
You know what? That's about a replay of what happened 1 week ago at Innisfail at the 53rd Annual Danes Ranch Rodeo with Luke Butterfield aboard. This horse has thrown off a couple of pretty good cowboys in back-to-back weeks.
He got out of there in good shape, too. Whoa! Horse stutter stepped just a little bit. Too bad for Todd Herzog tonight. You see the look of disappointment right there. It's not a time for an infield interview with that guy, Dave.
No, he's probably not going to want to talk to the likes of us for a little while, and I don't blame him. There's so much at stake right here at Wainwright. You want to win. You want to do your best. He did. It just wasn't good enough on this night.
Well, we hope 2013 is his 5th qualification for the Canadian Finals Rodeo.
All right, let's go to Katie Lucas right now.
Well, guys, a little bit more about the bronc riding. Rhythm and style are key in this event. Cowboys must abide by the spur out rule, keeping their spurs above the point of the horse's shoulder until the front feet hit the ground on the first jump out. Each and every jump after that, the cowboy tries to beat the horse to the ground or have his feet up above the point of the shoulders before the horse's front feet hit the ground to get a high score from our judges.
All right, Medieval Knievel is actually the horse from the Vold firm that Luke Butterfield has. Luke Butterfield of Pinoca, he comes in here at 81. He's our reigning Canadian champion, so you know that Luke Butterfield can make the ride. Let's watch this.
This is a very solid horse to the Canadian Finals Rodeo every year since 2007. Holds those feet for 2 jumps, and now we go to work. He's a little loose.
Boy, oh boy.
That is disappointing.
That is disappointing, and it is surprising because I kind of felt like Luke Butterfield was going to get the job done here on Medieval Knievel from the Vold organization, a Canadian Finals horse, but a Canadian champion. Starts real good. Right there, everything looks good. Again, move to the right, Cowboy goes left.
Too bad. He steps back on up to the buck chutes. We got another Cowboy cinching his saddle down on top. He's got the measurement of the bronc rein done right there. Paint horse inside this time. That's a big horse in there, Dave. Our Cowboy measured everything up.
Well, we're just checking to see who that is. Is that Chet getting ready? No, that's Taos. Okay. All right, Taos Muncie getting ready. Well, here's a guy that we chose right off the top, and we talked to him right off the top. Taos Muncie getting ready on Eclipse. This could be awfully good because a 2-time world champion and Canadian champion. And Eclipse, 2010 Canadian champion bucking horse. Love this matchup right. And he does look a little bit like Chet Johnson. Yeah, I'll tell you what, there is a little look-alike going right there. Taos Muncie getting ready.
The horse is feeling a little wild inside the buck chutes tonight. We've got some great handlers here. Then we get that horse handled. The horse is kind of crouching inside the buck chute, and we see that from time to time. These are wild horses. Cowboys will loosen the saddle off, maybe move the horse ahead a little bit. The idea is to let the horse relax, give the cowboy an opportunity to get on. Those feet over the points of the horse's shoulders. Now, that is something that is very tough to do, David. Did you ever ride saddle bronc horses? Do you know about this?
Well, not a whole lot. No, I didn't get on a whole lot of those. Kind of try to concentrate on the bareback riding. But, hey, I think we're going to move anyways up one chute and find out who's getting on in that chute. All right, as we get ready, it's Will Smith of Marshall, Missouri. Lunatic Party from the Outlaw Buckers.
Oh, they bought this horse, I tell you, at the National Finals Bucking Horse Sale as well. This horse is born and bred to buck. Watch this. This one is wild. Stay on top, Cowboy. Around, look at the Cowboy go. Now, that's not the normal type of trip that we have come to expect from that horse. Our Dodge boys, Gary Rempel this time sets our Cowboy down on the ground.
Well, you kind of watch Lunatic Party right here. You take a look at it, and right there, the horse just kind of jumping and not really kicking very much. And that kick is so important, both in terms of allowing that cowboy to get that good spur lick going. However, because of the spur lick that he did get going, he checks in at 82 points, and it's good enough right now for the lead at 163 and a half.
Good for Will. First time to the Wainwright Stampede. He'll be back again.
Well, now we're going back to Taos Muncie as we get ready for him. Eclipse is the horse that we talked about. I don't think we're going to have anything to worry about right here. This matchup is made in heaven. Taos Muncie and Eclipse. Look at that. Oh, my. Look at that paint horse. I mean, get high in the air, kick out behind. Taos Muncie doing what Taos Muncie does. He didn't win those world titles and the Canadian title with smoke and mirrors. He did it with rides just like that.
That might be the best spurring stroke we've seen all night long. Look at those legs extend up into the horse's shoulders. He beats the horse to the ground every time.
How about this? 87 points for Taos Muncie. We talked about it. We knew exactly that matchup. How about you and me picking the overall matchup of the night so far? Looking okay. I hope our producer's listening.
I don't think it'll happen again, Dave. That's what you call beginner's luck.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, but we're going to rest on our laurels right now.
Look at the smile on his face. He's a cowboy in and out of the arena. Cowboy all the time.
Well, and you know, Katie talked to him earlier, and he talked about wanting to come to the Canadian Finals Rodeo where he's been a champion, and of course a couple of National Finals Rodeo championships as well. He's a world titleist, and that is Taos Muncie. All right, we get ready right now. There's Chet Johnson. Chet Johnson from Douglas, Wyoming. He's got awesome. This was my guy that I picked in the bronc riding. And I'll tell you something right now. Chet Johnson's been a Canadian champion, and he is on a roll right now. He is so hot. He's #1 in Canada. Chet Johnson, awesome. This is an awesome matchup.
Let's go. Oh, hang on. Good Lord. Dave.
Well, I guess I have to admit that when I took Chet Johnson, you did say to me, I think this horse just might throw him off, and you were right. And look at how hard that horse bucks. Man, oh man, that's not an easy guy to throw off. And right there, awesome, put him on the ground. Tough break for Chet.
Awesome is awesome, and the Cowboys will tell you that that horse gets stronger with every jump. What a great horse. Wrangler National Finals horse. That horse is an award-winning, highly decorated horse, and should be.
And Chet Johnson with that characteristic smile, always in place, whether he wins or loses. You got to love that guy. No score on this occasion, however.
Whenever he comes to Canada, it seems like the Cowboy can do no wrong. He won Lee Park 2 weeks ago, won Innisfail last weekend. Great Cowboy.
Well, let's stay with the world champion theme right now as we get ready for Chad Furley, Ulrich, South Dakota. He's got power supply from the Vold organization. 2006 world champion, Chad Furley. You know, you want to sit around the campfire and just talk bucking horses and talk rodeo with somebody. This is a great guy to do that with. A really cool guy and knows rodeo, loves rodeo, and rides bucking horses rather well.
If you want to be judged by the people you hang around with, this is the guy you stand beside. You're exactly right. A horse called Power Supply tonight from Wayne Vold. 8-year-old Sorrel Gelding, a horse that's been to the Canadian Finals Rodeo. Everybody says this is a great horse. The Cowboys just trying to get that left leg down over the side of this horse. Great shot down inside. Let's go. Power Supply will take you to a money-earning ride. We are wild and western on out there. That's the world champion in the house. He's done his part. A full 8 seconds on the back of that horse.
Well, and we're chasing that 168 on 2 of Taos Muncie. That's what we're trying to catch. That was a nice effort, I thought, right there by Chad Furley. Another one of those world champions doing what a champion does, just going out there and making a good bucking horse ride. Real good, in fact. Let's see how he fared in the eyes of our officials. He's in with 81 points. He had 82 coming in, so he's at 163 on 2 head is Chad Furley.
That's a great shot from the back. We could see how high and how hard that horse kicked during the ride. Back as our Cowboys prepare, get ready for our next man. Those association saddles are designed specifically just to ride bucking horses. You notice there's no saddle horn on there, probably a good thing.
I would think that would be a really good thing. All right, Tyrell Larson, Inglis, Manitoba, getting ready. Now he's got 84 points coming in. So let's take a look at our leaderboard. We know that 168 on 2 is winning it right now. That's Taos Muncie. This guy's got 84 points. If he can be 84.5 or higher, he could be the champion. Now let's talk a little bit about Tyrell Larson and pick up the horse that he's got.
52 pickup, actually. That's the brand number on the horse. That's the name they've stuck on this horse. Ranch-raised horse from the Outlaw Buckers. Red roan, solid horse. Tyrell has been hot over the last while. He's been winning on both sides of the 49th parallel. He's working on his master's degree in business administration right now.
Well, you know, you talk about a lot of our Cowboys, very intelligent guys, and looking forward to life after rodeo. Some of them are making good preparations in that regard. Right now, Tyrell Larson is concentrating on one thing. He wants to ride this horse, 52 pickup, and make a whole lot of money. 84.5 or more would take him to a championship right here at the Wainwright Stampede Battle for the Buckles, and he's making a nice bucking horse ride. I like that a whole lot. Tyrell Larson, I don't know if you're going to win it or not, but I liked what you did.
That is a pretty roan horse right there. Looks like we've got him down, and he's all right. We'll take a look back at the replay of the ride. I didn't see much wrong with this ride at all. Now, there's the heel contact. We could see that for 2 jumps. And then the Cowboy goes to work. Even spur strokes on both sides of that horse. That horse was testing his ability. That horse kicking up with every jump. How did the Wrangler officials like that one, Dave?
Great right here.
All right, he's in at 81.5, so he's 165.5 on 2, good for second place. But Taos Muncie did exactly what we anticipated he might. He's our champion, and Katie Lucas is ready to talk to him right now.
Well, Taos, we spoke to you earlier, and just as expected, you're the winner of the Wainwright Pro Rodeo. Tell me about your ride.
Man, I was excited to have that horse, and that horse really bucked right out of there, and felt like I was going to sit on a foot, but they came out just in time, and I got him rode barely, but it worked out.
Explain that for some of our viewers. Sitting on your foot, what does that mean, and what does that do to a ride?
Yeah, usually them horses, they'll send your feet back, and you'll get them hung in the cantle sometimes, and that horse is so big and strong, he really sends your feet, so they went past my cantle, and so I had to try to get them back down there, and luckily it came out.
Well, tell me about the rest of your season then, and how this is going to affect it.
Yeah, anytime you can get a win and stuff, especially right before the 4th, you know, it's, this is a real important week for us. A lot of rodeos, a lot of money up, so it's good to get off to a good start.
Well, congratulations, Taos. Back to you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back right after this.
As they represent our major event sponsors, they're going to present.
The Road to the CFR is presented by the Edmonton Destination Marketing Hotels, Northlands, the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association, and iLink Media Group in partnership with Travel Alberta.
And John Robertson, I thought they were there.
Well, we're coming back, and of course, steer wrestling upcoming, what the Cowboys like to call Bulldog and Doug. It's 2 cowboys, 2 horses, 1 steer, a barrier rope, 6 variables in all. Things can go right in all 6 areas. You can win a whole lot of money here at the Wainwright Stampede.
Well, in the steer wrestling, the ground is very, very important. These cowboys are going to slide with these steers down the arena. The steers weigh in at about 650 pounds. Now, this ground is great tonight. We're about ready to see how these steer wrestlers are going to handle it. Some of them have been changing footwear. There's the top 10 for us right up there.
Well, there's our top 10, and Chance Butterfield going to be the first man to go as the slowest on 2, which isn't real slow, all the way up to Tanner Milan, of course, who was our champion last week in Innisfail. He was the very last man at Innisfail, jumped out there and was very dramatically the champion. So we're getting ready for Chance Butterfield right now of Ponoka. 13-7. And by the way, while we got a minute, let's thank everybody in the Danes family over there at Innisfail for the great hospitality. What a great family. What a great rodeo it was.
It was a great weekend last weekend, and here comes Chance Butterfield. Run up on this steer, turn around, we're down. Good deal.
I like that a whole lot. He's in at 5-4 to go with the 13-7 on 2 coming in. So on 3 head, he's going to be about 19-1. 19-1 on 3 with that great run right there. That's a solid run. As you see it right there, get that left elbow to the nose, no mistakes, real nice.
He gave that steer a bit of a start. He let that steer out just a little bit. Then the steer came to his left. He did well to get a hold of that steer. Nice job for the Hazer man that time.
He's got Napa, California right now, and Ethan Thuvenal comes in at 12-8. Let's see how he's going to fare. Big, strong guy. The argument is not long once Ethan gets to the steer. Watch this.
Outside now, he hit that line just right. Stay with that steer. That's a good job.
That is a good job, and I'll tell you what, how about 3-9 on the clock? 3-9 to go with his 12-8 earlier. He's in at 16-7 right now, comfortably in the lead, 16-7 on 3. That is nice.
When you see that steer's body clear the ground like that, that cowboy did very, very well. The idea is to let the steer's forward momentum kind of throw the steer down. That cowboy timed it perfectly. hit that line just right, too. That's a great bulldogging horse.
Well, let's move on over to Vanscoy, Saskatchewan, and Dustin Walker going to be next. Dustin Walker.
Now, Dusty's been traveling with the Hardin boys this year, and it's their bulldogging horse that he's been riding all year. This horse is quick. Dusty's had enough time to know this horse inside out. Obviously coming on in here with 12-4 on 2 steers already. This Cowboy comes in with a little reputation. Now on out there, let's get a hold, bring him around. Big solid man here too. I think just a bit slower.
But not by much. 4-2, awfully solid for Dustin Walker. His 4-2 going to give him 16-6 on 2 and about second place right now. Watch him. Man, I'll tell you, he handles that steer very, very well, 4-2.
He's somebody to watch for the Canadian Finals Rodeo this year. He's not been there yet, but that Cowboy is hungry. He's got all the tools. He's got a lot of talent, and he'll take some chances.
Well, here's a guy that I just feel has been so very, very strong throughout 2013. We're talking about Morgan Grant. You know, he graduated from college down in Texas a few months ago, stayed down in Texas, won a whole bunch of money rodeoing down there, and has really kept that momentum going as he came back up to Canada. And Morgan Grant from Granton, Ontario, comes in at 12-3 right now. Let's see how fast he can be.
He'll bulldog steers, and he'll tie down rope too. Got that one down. Had a little trouble getting by that steer that time. The bulldog and horse hung for just a second or two.
So a 5 seconds flat, going to put him at 17-3 with the 5 seconds flat.
Throws that one down. That's a nice job, too. Get a little mud on your Wranglers tonight, Dave, if you're a bulldogger.
But again, you know, surprising how good the conditions are and how good the times and everything has been so far in all of our events. Again, a credit to our Wainwright Stampede volunteers and all the people that have been working out there, keeping those ground conditions up to snuff. Ludlow, South Dakota brings us last year's Rookie of the Year in Canada. Chase on Floyd comes in at 11-8 on his first 2 runs. I wouldn't be betting against this guy.
No, he was hot in 2012, and he's jumped back into 2013 in a good spot. He's jumped into the top 10 of the standings already. He says outside, bit of a late start, but that might be what you need tonight. Bring him around. We're down. 5-1 in the order tonight. That looks good. There's the start for the Cowboy. Watch the hazer get into the picture. That's just right. Just enough room to get a hold of that steer. Steer was a little slow to take the throw. 5-1.
And 16-9 on 3. We're going to move to Billy Buganig now, Ferndale, California. Now he comes in at 10-1 on his first 2 runs. So we're getting up to the faster times now on those totals on 2. 10-1 for Billy Buganig, the 3 times National Finals Rodeo qualifier. Let's see what he can do right now. Now, right at this point in time, by my calculation, Ethan Thuvenal is still our leader at 16-3. That 3-9 really put him into a good spot.
That's right. We'll keep you up to date. Billy down inside. Watch the steer. Make sure we've got the steer coordinated with the hazer. There's a lot that can go wrong because we're dealing with a lot of variables. 2 Cowboys, 2 horses, 1 steer. And this steer gets a bit of a start on Billy. Down inside, that's a big hip to bring that steer around. Good job.
Well, as you pointed out, he went a little longer than we wanted him to, but 6 seconds flat. But again, because he had that cushion up at the top of the board, he's in at 16-1 on 3 and is, for the moment, our leader.
He did a good job as that steer moved over to the left. We saw that bulldog and horse change leads just right as he went down there. Great horses, greatest Cowboys in the world on the greatest horses.
Justin Miller comes in at 11 seconds flat. So if he could be 5 flat or faster, he would take the lead right here. Justin Miller from Cessford, Alberta.
Well, this is the Cowboy that I picked to win the bulldogging tonight, Dave. This young man is hungry. He wants to establish a reputation. He's here tonight. He's bulldogging against his Cowboy heroes. He's not been to the Canadian Finals Rodeo as yet, but this year he's only been to 4 professional rodeos in Canada. He's jumped up to 4th in the Canadian standings. He is a very good bulldogger to watch.
Well, you know, and he knows, he's got that clock in his head, and these guys know exactly how fast they have to be. He knows that he's got to be 5 seconds flat or faster to take the lead right here. As you watch Justin Miller out and in good position right here. Now reaching back, get to that nose, and twist him down in a hurry. Wow, 4 and 4 to go with what he already had. I'll tell you what, there he is at 15 and 4 and our new leader.
Oh, that steer was not easy to throw down. That was all strength for that cowboy. Good job. That's a good kid right there. Sore ribs. That steer was starting to stop as he went to him, and the steer threw his head up, caught him right in underneath the rib cage. Ouch.
A big check out of the Wainwright Stampede 60th edition will heal up those ribs in a big hurry. Brock Butterfield is the man. Yep, Pinoca. That's him. 10 and 1. Comes in right now the same time on 2 runs as Billy Buganig was. So if he could be down in that, I don't know, 5 and 3, 5 and 2 range, he could still catch our leader, Justin Miller.
Well, this is almost the family business for the Butterfields. Oh, get back to our feet. There we are. Steer and the cowboy went down. Took him a little extra time to get that one on the ground.
Well, yeah, as a result, that's just a little longer than where we wanted him to be. And with that 7 and 2, he's going to be in at 17 and 3 on his 3 runs.
Backing up, we're getting down in the order now. Our next cowboy mounted, ready to go.
Well, Dakota Eldridge, as you see right there, getting into position. He comes in here, the Elko, Nevada man does, with 9 and 9 on 2.
Well, that is a ranch part of the world. If you're from Elko, Nevada, you better be a cowboy. We need that horse to look straight out into the arena to react to the cowboy's cue. These horses don't actually react to the gate. There's a split-second delay right there. If that horse reacted to the gate, we'd probably break the barrier each time. Horse drops, gets the cowboy in there. That's a good start. Can we keep it up? Not so bad. Steer hung a hind leg just a little bit.
Not so bad, to the tune of 4 and 3. And that's going to put him very, very solidly on our leaderboard with the, oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Oh, no, Doug. Bad news at the barrier.
That's right, out too early. Just an instant too early, but that's all it takes. Looks like the horse broke the barrier rather than the steer. Here comes the cowboy right now, dude.
You know, I don't know how many times we've talked about getting down to the last guy and the last guy coming out there and doing something dramatic to win the whole shooting match. Tanner Milan has done that. He did it last week at Innisfail, the very last guy, and he comes in here at 9 and 7. He's got a little to play with, but as we've pointed out earlier, you want to be as fast as you can every time you can to win a championship. Tanner Milan's got a shot right here.
And he's riding a world champion horse. That's Jesse down there, Lee Graves' horse. Lee's over there on the hazing side. I talked to Tanner tonight about the run and what he was going to do with his steer. He said it in his fail. He turned the steer out a little bit, and he's done it again tonight. Jesse will take you by in a hurry. Watch this. Yeah!
Man, oh man, he just keeps doing it. Last week, he was the last guy in 4 and 1 to win the title. Then he comes up here to Wainwright. He's 4 and 1 to win the title again. Tanner Milan, the reigning Canadian champion, is on fire right now. How about that? Oh, you gotta like that a whole bunch. Tanner, nice job. All right, hey, I think Katie's down there, and she's got a very happy Tanner Milan with her right now.
Well, thanks, guys. Tanner, it's just deja vu from our interview at Innisfail. You're the last guy out and the best guy of the day. How are you feeling right now after such a good winning streak?
Oh, it feels great. You know, I don't know, I've just been drawing good, you know, riding Jesse, and Jesse's just the best horse going right now, and I'm very fortunate to be able to ride him everywhere.
What's next for you?
I go to Pinoca next week, and then Airdrie, Williams Lake, and then head down to the States and go to some of the American rodeos down there.
Now, how did 2 wins like this at 2 huge Canadian rodeos help you with the rest of the season?
Oh, it's helped me immensely, you know. great to be climbing up in the standings, and not only is it great for Canada, but it's also great for the world standings.
And are you going down south soon too?
Yeah, I'll be leaving next week to go down there. So.
Okay, list some of your rodeos that you're going to down south as well.
I'll be going to Cody, Wyoming, and Red Lodge in Livingston, Montana, and St. Paul, Oregon.
Now, you talked about great horses. How important is that great horse?
Oh, he's very important. You know, he runs so damn hard, he scores great, and, you know, I got Lee over there hazing for me, and my confidence level is just high as it can be right now.
Well, thank you, Tanner. Good luck the rest of the season.
Okay.
Back to you.
How about Tanner Milan? We've had 2 stops in our road to the CFR, and he's won both of them. Hey, the road to the CFR are going to be right back right after this. The road to the CFR is presented by the Edmonton Destination Marketing Hotels, Northlands, the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association, and iLink Media Group in partnership with Travel Alberta. Well, when you talk about barrel racing, boy, I'll tell you what, we got the cream of the crop right here tonight. Look at Lindsay Sears. She's going to be our first one to go. And she, of course, is a 2-time world champion, a Calgary Stampede champion, and she is Canada's barrel racing sweetheart. Comes in at 17.617 on her first run.
The reigning champion of the world, Mary Walker, is in here tonight as well, and a very exciting Kaylee Bass on the top end with a 17.199 is the best run we've seen here.
Well, and the cowgirl will come in, turn to figure 8 around the 2 near side barrels, head down to the far side, complete that cloverleaf pattern with a 3rd turn, and pull out all the stops in a lightning fast run for home. And boy, I'll tell you, if there's a cowgirl who can do that with authority, it would be our own Lindsay Sears. And there's Lindsay getting ready right now. Looks like she's riding Mo tonight as she gets set out there. All right, just kind of settling everything down and getting ready for Lindsay Sears. She is just about set. We got a little technical difficulty down there in the arena. They're just fixing things up and getting them ready for our barrel races. Now, of course, we do have the penalty again that can be incurred in a barrel race. That in the form of a knockdown barrel in 5 seconds.
That's right. You don't want to do that. We're talking about 17 seconds and change. 17.1 is our fastest run we've seen. Lindsay is ready. We'll bring her in slowly, carefully. Important to have the horse listening to you. The faster you go, the better you do. We time them electronically to 1/1000th of a second. She's stepping on in, and away we go. Right-hand barrel first. This is the 2-time world champion. That is a beautiful number 1 barrel. That'll dictate the success of the run. Number 2, just as good. Now down to the 3rd ram tough barrel, and let's leave it up. Come on, Canada, look at Mo run for home. Lindsay is looking good.
And Lindsay Sears is in at 17.879 to go with that earlier 17.6. So she's going to be about 35 and a half, roughly speaking. As you watch it right there, there's that turn and that run for home. Good job. All right, here's our next cowgirl. Look at this on the gray horse. Julie Leggett of Kamloops, another Canadian. She too came in at 17.617. Exact same time as Lindsay Sears, our 2 Canadians, starting us off.
You have to love this gray horse. Look at the shot of run that this horse has got. Ears back and running for home. The track looks a little slower tonight.
And a 17.785, just got a little bit quicker right there. Nice job by Julie Leggett. Might get her a little check out of Wainwright, maybe even a big check. That's going to take us to one of the great stories in barrel racing. Last year, Mary Walker, the world champion, what a national finals she had.
This is a great horse. She calls this horse Latte. This horse is so smooth around those barrels that if you can be smooth and you can turn a third one like this and run for home, we might call you the champion.
Oh, man, I'll tell you,
nice job, Mary Walker.
She has had to overcome so many challenges in her life. She's been so very good. How about 17.455 to go with her earlier time? She's right in around that 35.0 range.
Oh, that looks great. Next cowgirl coming in down the alley. She's from Terrebonne, Oregon, 21st in the world, a ton of times to the National Finals Rodeo. This is Brenda Mays. Look at her go. That's 2, no knockdowns here. The closer you get, the better you do. The straighter the line to home now, the faster you go. That a girl.
And it's going to stop the clock right there in about 17.753. She's in second place overall right now. Our leader is still the reigning world champion, Mary Walker. Here's a young lady who's going to try to change that. Lacey Suter of Cessford, Alberta. She comes in at 17.468. Tremendous success last year in terms of the futurities and the derbies. She rides a couple of great horses, and she is underway right now. Lacey, I want you to do it, and I want it fast right here. Good first. All right, now 2 to the left. Keep those barrels standing all the way around. Here we go to the far side. 1 turn to go. Lacey Suter with the run for home, the run for the money. Lacey Suter gonna stop the clock right here. Let's see how fast she's able to get it done. Lacey Suter checks in at 17.909. Good for third place on the board on her 2 runs.
That is a great job. Beautiful big sorrel horse with a lot of run. 17.909. Next to go, we look for Jane Melby, Bernieville, Oklahoma. All right.
Well, Mary Walker still our leader. Man, oh man, that was such an impressive run that she posted. And what we're going to do right here, and of course the reason for this is we want to keep the ground conditions as close to equal for all of our cowgirls as we can. So we send our rakers out there just to kind of tidy things up around the barrels, because of course these horses are really digging in and going around those barrels. So we want to kind of just tidy things up and get ready for our next cowgirl.
Exactly, that's right. It could become a safety concern as well as the ground deepens a little bit. Jane Melby, Bernieville, Oklahoma, 6th in the world standings right now. This is a very good cowgirl jockey. Now it's right or left-hand barrel first. It's up to the cowgirls. That's a little wide around that first barrel, and obviously the further you go, the more time it takes you. That's 2. Now we need to make up the ground. We need to make up some time. That's a good third barrel. A little wide again as well as she heads for home. How good does she do, David?
Well, the score comes in at 18.076. 18.076 for Jane is going to put her in about 5th place overall. Mary Walker still leading the way. So that takes us to Alicia Stockton of Ballston Spa, Nevada. She came in here at 17.389. I like her first. Second, solid. Now to the far side. Got to save every step you can. Here's the run for home. Here we go. Here comes Alicia across the line right there. Solid run for home. And is in at 17.826 and going to put her in 2nd place. Mary Walker still leads the way.
We look for Mandan, North Dakota's Brittany Fleck next. Brittany has a great horse. She's been to the National Finals Rodeo, and she is a star in her hometown of Mandan, North Dakota. She's been to our Canadian Finals Rodeo. This black horse has got so much speed, and he's hunting that first barrel. That might be our best first barrel tonight. Now let's keep it up. Second one looks just as good. Do we have the right amount of run? Can we leave this one up? I think we can. That a girl. Good job for Brittany Fleck.
And across the line in 17.578, she is now our new leader. All right, Brittany Fleck now has taken the lead. That was a great run, as you pointed out, Doug.
Oh, wow. Nice job.
Well, Victoria Williams, Killam, Mississippi, going to be next. Now she comes in at 2nd place in the Longo at 17.277. Of course, now we're getting to the fastest of the fast through our elimination performances leading up to tonight.
If you're a horse person, there's just something about a gray horse. That one went a little wide around that first barrel. We've got to make up that time now. That's a good second one. She's not out of it yet. Take the third one, leave it up. You can bump them as long as you don't knock them down. The girl ride for home.
And across the line very solidly in 17.820. So Victoria Williams going to be in third place overall now. Brittany Fleck is still our leader. Mary Walker in second. Victoria Williams moves to third. And it all comes down to this. Kaylee Bass, Kissimmee, Florida, the National Finals Rodeo. Kissimmee, Florida, cowgirl Kaylee Bass. And 17.199 coming in. Can she do it, Doug?
You know, I think she can. This is a great horse, and this horse has so much acceleration between the barrels. It's shut down and turned. Now watch the acceleration. We're right back up to top speed. We'll do it again right here. Head down for the third one. We can hear the crowd in the background. We know that she's in the running. Let's go.
Can she be fast enough across the line? In 17.632 and on to Kaylee Bass unofficially. Looks like our champion in a very exciting barrel race. All right, I'll tell you what, that was just a tremendous job. We're going to talk to the champion in a minute. As you can see, the gray horse and Kaylee Bass kind of headed down the track a little bit. Going to come back and but I'll tell you what, wasn't that a great barrel race? Mary Walker did what you expected, put a whole lot of pressure on everybody. Brittany Fleck came through, and then Kaylee Bass, best of the best.
And Kaylee Bass is only 21 years old. We're going to see her again this year at the National Finals Rodeo. This is going to put her on track. This is one of those changing moments you always talk about in the world of rodeo, Dave.
Well, and Kaylee Bass, you know, you talked about the horse coming in. That combination of great cowgirl, great horse is just what you need. And Kaylee Bass right now is working her way back to our arena. I'm interested in what Katie Lucas and Katie Bass have to talk about right about now, as Katie Lucas has Kaylee Bass at the ready in just a moment. So, boy, I'll tell you, though, I absolutely love that run, but I absolutely love the whole barrel race. It was exciting right through to the very last run, and the last cowgirl coming in with that lead did exactly what we thought she just might.
Exactly. It takes a great cowgirl on a great horse. What a run tonight. Oh, we can hear the running back there. That horse is a little winded. So is Kaylee Bass. So is Katie Lucas.
I'll tell you, it's all part of the excitement of our road to the CFR. This second stop has been every bit as great as the first one last week in Innisfail. Now here we are at the conclusion of a great, great barrel race right there. All right, well, Katie Lucas did a great job of tracking down Kaylee Bass.
Okay, Kaylee, we're a little out of breath from our jog up the track. How are you feeling about your run today?
I was pretty excited, you know, being last out. Today I was kind of worried, but my horse really did try hard, and I'm happy with him.
Tell me a little bit about your horse. It's Cowboy Dan, right?
Yes. He's 13-year-old gelding. I've had him for a while, so him and I know each other pretty well, so we're pretty happy.
All right. And what are your plans for the rest of the season?
Just to keep going on him. You know, he just gets stronger the more I run him, so hoping for the best.
Well, congratulations on your win here at Wainwright, and good luck the rest of the season. Back to you guys. Thank you so much.
Well, a very happy champion right there, Kaylee Bass, with that great run in the barrel race. Now, hey, let's get back to the arena right now because, of course, we've got rodeo's most dangerous event, the toughest 8 seconds in sport, upcoming right about now, Doug.
What a great shot. Look down inside. That's a bull rope being pulled up. Dave, here's your neighbor. First guy to go tonight in the bull riding.
Chad Bestplug. Oh, man, I'll tell you what, and he's got a great bull, too. He's got drop kick from the Outlaw Buckers, 2011 Canadian champion and our defending champion right here at Wainwright. Now, he's been battling some injuries, but, boy, I'll tell you, you're right, that is a great shot as he inserts that gloved hand into the handhold of that flat braided rope, the tail of which is passed around the girth of the bull into the palm of the hand right there, and then around behind the wrist into the palm one more time. He'll slide up, get as close to that rope as he can, try to challenge the power of this great bucking bull, and Chad Bestplug has done that with authority throughout a tremendous career. As Chad gets ready right now on drop kick, coming in here with 82 championship points in the long round. All right, Chad Bestplug right now. Let's see what he can do on drop kick. Oh, look at this. Look at this. In control, right smack in the middle. That is all about Chad Bestplug.
You could not do any better on that bull than he did right there. That cowboy was never out of position. That Outlaw Buckers bull was around and at it tonight, right to the left. Watch his free arm. Keeps him right in the back of that bull, and that outside foot kicking all the time. That's what keeps you in position on the back of that bull. How good did he do, Dave?
85.5, so put him in at 167.5 on 2. And how about Scott and Jesse Byrne, our outstanding bullfighters down there, making sure he got away safely at the conclusion of the ride.
The Byrne cousins from the Canadian Finals Rodeo. Scott and Jesse Byrne. Warm that bull rope up, get ready. We slide up with another cowboy kamikaze as he gets ready down inside. Warm that bull rope up. There's the handhold. Here comes the kid, Dave. This is the one that you can put your money on right here. The pride and joy of Okotoks.
You and I have talked so much about Jordan Hansen and the great career that this young man is going to have, because he is really on the cusp of being one of our greats. And he is starting to make those good rides. You know, before he was making the good rides, but they came up just a little short, maybe in at 6 or 7 seconds. But on this bull called Silver City today, I really like what he can do. Another Outlaw Buckers bull. He was 84.5 in the long go, so if he could be about 81.5 or so, right in that range here on this bull, he could take over the lead. I wouldn't bet against this kid. I just wouldn't.
Not at all. He's got all the tools to be the champion here tonight. There's that hand down in the bull rope. Cowboys starting to slide ahead on that bull rope. You don't need to mark these animals out the way we do in the rough stock events where we use horses. It's enough to just ride one of these. You can't touch down with the free hand. Your hand has to be in that bull rope at 8 seconds in order to get a qualified score. Cowboys say you ride him till your head touches the ground. And this young man has got so much try. Down inside, 84.5 on his first one. Look at the horn on that one. One short one, one long one. He's reaching back with the long one. Says, let's ride. Sunday Night Live. Are we talking about a buckle? Stay on, Jordan, atta boy. Nice move right there to stay in position. There's the horn.
Now that bull didn't spin in quite the same way as the first bull that we saw, but you know what he'd do? He'd kind of take one step and then throw a big spin at you, and he wasn't easy to ride. Watch Jordan Hansen right here. This bull starts a little bit to the left, then kind of steps out of that, trying to make up his mind what he wants to do. There's that quick right turn. Now another one coming up right there. See how Jordan had to hustle, really shuffle his feet and get back to the middle of that back of that bull. He did an awfully good job is what he did. And Jordan Hansen checks in at 83 points for 167.5 on 2. I see both of those guys tied right now at the top of our board.
That was a good ride. He had to hustle up and then show a great deal of patience and kind of wait for that bull to jump back in underneath him. He did a good job of that, and that's reflected in the score. Here we go. Wrangler National finalist with us tonight from Payson, Utah. This is Steve Woolsey, 6 times to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. And this guy is hot as of late. He just won the Extreme Bulls event at Okeechobee, Florida. Dave, you know about this bull tonight?
Well, first of all, Steve Woolsey comes in at 85. So if he can be 83 or more on the back of Dakota Joe, this is a bull that we've seen from the Outlaw Buckers, and they bring us some awfully good ones. This is what you could call a money bull right here. You can ride this bull, that red bull right there with the horns, and he is good. He is really, really solid. I like this matchup, as a matter of fact. I think this bull plays to this Cowboys' strengths. Let's watch what happens right here. Steve Woolsey, one of the best in our game.
The Outlaw Buckers raise most of their bulls. They purchased this one in North Dakota, and they say he's quick. Bull looks around, and we're at it now. Into the right. Whoa, Cowboy. How did he do that?
Man,
Good Lord.
I hope we see a replay on that, because I can't believe the first move. And then that bull, you know, the really good bulls get stronger as the ride goes on. We're going to see this again. Watch how this bull actually speeds up partway through the ride. Now right here, everything looks good. Now right there, great recovery, but out of position, couldn't stay with it. But I'll tell you, a great effort by Steve Woolsey, but that is an outstanding bucking bull.
Exactly, reached up with that outside foot. That's like a Hail Mary pass in football right there, and it worked. Oh boy.
Well, in the meantime, I think Bo Brooks is getting ready down there. Now, boy, you talk about a turnaround season for a guy. Last year didn't make the Canadian Finals Rodeo and didn't like it. And he is back. He is #1 in Canada right now is Bo Brooks from Cochrane, Alberta. Blue Zone from the Outlaw Buckers. Comes in at 83 points right now, so about 85 would comfortably put him into the lead.
Now, the Cowboys say that this bull is extremely quick. This bull will try and beat you out of the buck chutes. After that, it is hustle. Show a lot of hustle on the back of this bull, and you might get him rode for a full 8 seconds. Now, this young man is sitting down in there with that right hand down in the bull rope. That bull is going to step out of there on a right-hand delivery. That's right into his wheelhouse. Now, the good bulls will change direction if they feel the Cowboy staying on top for a little bit too long. Now, down inside, hang on, Cowboy, we're with you. The #1 man in the Canadian standings, getting up on that bull rope right now. We're outside with Bo Brooks, looking good. Now, here comes the hustle. Just right. Cowboy showing a lot of patience on the back of that one. He's got him. We're there. Now, the bullfighters step in. Look out, Cowboy. Whoa. Now, that'll bring a smile to his face. You bet. Great job for Bo Brooks. Let's see the replay on the ride. Bull steps around to the right and stays with it. Now this Cowboy shows a lot of poise right here. Keeps this bull spotted, looks down at him. There's that outside foot going to work, keeping him on the back of the bull. Looks good. The get off, a little questionable. I think he's going to be back to fight another day. Scores are coming back for our Cowboy right now. 81 championship points for Bo Brooks. It's going to set him up in the order. That looks good.
Puts him in 3rd place, Doug, overall, right behind Jordan Hansen, Chad Bestplug, as we get ready right now. And Denton Edge, guy we've talked about, Marway. Now he comes in here, 89 points, won the long go round, and that's the 2nd year in a row that he's done that, by the way. Let's watch Denton Edge right here. Push, pause, talk to him. He said this bull should fit him just about nicely. See if he can build on that 89 right here.
I talked to Dwayne Schellenberg from the Outlaw Buckers about this bull tonight, and he said this should be a good matchup. Saying this bull is as consistent as the Cowboy. They're both right in the prime of life as far as bull riding and bucking bulls go. And there's that suicide wrap on that hand, Dave. Thump those fingers down in there. That's what keeps you on the back of that bull.
Well, you talk about a guy who's been consistent, so many Canadian Finals rodeo appearances, been runner-up for a Canadian championship, would like to make the move to the one rung up that ladder to a Canadian title. Well, I'll tell you what, a big win in Wainwright would certainly help you with that. Coming in at 89 points, so he merely needs to ride this bull because he's certainly going to be in the 80s if he does, and would move him certainly to the top of our leaderboard. Tough part, of course, push pause has another idea.
Exactly. We can see that left leg now. You can see that left foot up on the side of the chute down there. That leg needs to get down over the side of the bull. Otherwise, it's advantage bull. We can see him pushing on that left leg down in there right now. Just maybe see someone else step in there and push the bull over a little bit. He says, I'm ready. Turn me out. Good deal. There's some hustle. Stay with him, Denton. Oh, look out. Well, that hand is hung in the bull rope for just a second or two. That was a great try. That's a tough bull right there, David.
Well, I'll tell you, you took the words right out of my mouth. That was a great try because that bull had a day right here. And how hard is Denton Edge trying to stay in the middle? Right there, got a little tip to the left, just couldn't get back into position. Then he's in a little trouble right there. Gets out of there safely with a big help from, of course, the great Byrne boys saving him once again.
Took a little shot in the ribs right there. This is a tough business. He's a good cowboy and a stunt man when he's not at a rodeo.
And a great family man, too. Just one of the real gentlemen of our industry. Not going to get there tonight, however. So we're still looking at those 167.5s atop the board as you look at Jordan Hansen and Chad Bestplug. But Tanner Gerlitz is getting ready. Cool Valley. You remember a bull called Big Valley Black. Great, great bull. This is his calf right here. This is his son. And like father, like son. Big Valley Black, great bull. This bull, Cool Valley, that Tanner Gerlitz has, and comes in with 86 points. Oh, look at this. A bull that wants to extend his 15 seconds of fame right here.
Oh, he's being difficult. Let's see if we can get a couple of ropes on him. There we go.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's just watch this because our pickup men don't just pick up cowboys. In fact, every once in a while, they got to help the livestock out of the arena. And look, he looks like a pretzel right there. About 9 ropes around him. Okay, well, there you go. Now we'll just help him out of there. And he's still not very happy about it.
Uh-oh.
As you like to say, this is like dragging your wife out of Costco, Doug. I tell you right there. Man alive.
Oh, there's not a whole lot we can do about this. Jim Kelso straightened him around, and away we go. This is the Cowboy tow truck right here. All right.
Every once in a while, a bull, and this is a young bull, by the way. They sometimes haven't quite learned their arena manners first few trips into the arena. They'll figure it out. Eventually, he'll be looking for that outgate after he gets his job done. But right now, he just wants to be ornery.
He's being obstinate tonight, and it's not a good time for you and I or anybody else to go down there. Those bullfighters are getting a little closer to him. Jim Kelts will take him toward the outgate, but that's about 1,600 pounds of bad attitude right there.
Yeah, there he goes.
There we go.
All right.
Pickup men are getting a great hand from the in-house audience here tonight. Well, they should. It's a good job. Well done. Is this your man in the bull riding?
This is my man in the bull riding. And, you know, Tanner Gerlitz, of course, lit it up at Innisfail last weekend. Here he is on this Cool Valley bull that I was just talking about a minute ago. Tanner Gerlitz comes in at 86 points. Now, with that 167.5 leading, 82 or higher unofficially would take Tanner Gerlitz to the lead. Now, I talked about the fact that he had this bull at Prince Albert a few weeks ago. The bull got him, but I talked to Tanner. He said, I made one little mistake, and it was all it took. I know how to correct that mistake. I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to ride for 8 seconds.
We can see that riding hand down in there right now. And, David, I can tell you that is a very sore riding hand. I had a look at that hand last night. That hand is about 1.5 inches thick.
Yeah.
That hand is swollen. He's got everything set up down in there. Got that suicide wrap down on the back of the hand.
Well, you know, there's 3 generations of great bull riders pulsing through the veins of this cowboy. His grandpa was a Canadian champion. His daddy, his uncle's in the bull raising business. And Tanner Gerlitz going to work right now. Come on Cool Valley. Look at this. Got a chance. Tanner, come on. Come on. How about Tanner Gerlitz right there? Oh, did I like that? Did I like that? They need to play a little Sweet Caroline's what they need to do, because this guy, in addition to being a great bull rider, is the biggest Neil Diamond fan on the planet. But right here, I'm a Tanner Gerlitz fan. That is a great bull ride right there on Cool Valley.
That's a cowboy toughing it out. Every jump of that was hard on the hand, and watch the rip the hand's going to take right there. He's off.
How about 87 points? Oh my, 87 to go with his 86 earlier. He's 173 on 2, and our leader, the beat goes on for Tanner Gerlitz.
Advantage Tanner Gerlitz on Sunday night. That's going to be a big smile tonight. I tell you, this is his year. They just keep on coming. More cowboys, more bulls. The Battle of the Buckles on Sunday night. Thank you for joining us. There's another hand into that bull rope.
Well, of course, we're going to be in Ponoka next weekend on the Canada Day long weekend. We'll be there for the final and championship performance at the Ponoka Stampede. Excited about that. That's going to be simply outstanding.
Let's crack a latch, have a big bull match. We got to do it 8 seconds at a time. Coming in for the long round, 84.
All right, Devin Macy is the man getting ready down there. The amazing Macy is what I like to call him, and he's got Uncle Buck. I think this might have been your pick. Now, my guy was 87. I'm just pointing that out.
You would. I tell you what, this is my guy. When you back this man into the corner, Devin Macy will come on out and talk about concentration. We're going to need it tonight. Look at the broad back of this bull. This bull goes 100 miles an hour. Uncle Buck and Devin Macy. Come on, Devin. Uh-oh.
Man, oh man, Uncle Buck. You know, we talk about the bulls, and sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the bulls. I don't think Devin Macy did a whole lot wrong. The bull just simply had a better day.
That bull is very strong. That broad back on that bull makes it tough for you to get a hold, and we're just thankful our cowboy steps away in just as good a shape as he did. The burns were right there to take the bull away. Too bad.
Well, we're going to head on over to the 150-mile house, British Columbia cowboy Kyle Lozier. You know, last year in June, about this time of year, this guy went over to Wanham, Alberta, a place you're very familiar with, and so am I, and won himself $20,000 in a matched ride against a great bull called Slash. So you know that he's capable of jumping out here and making those good rides. Now, Kyle Lozier comes in here at 84.5. So he's going to have to be about 89 by my calculation, roughly speaking, to get him up into the lead.
There goes Uncle Buck, or not. Kind of stopped at the door. That's the door to the dressing room for the Bulls right there. We got that closed.
Yeah. All right, Kyle Lozier's got True Blood from the Vold firm. This is a bull you can be 89 points on, but of course the tricky part is you got to get the 8 seconds handled. And I kind of like the way Kyle Lozier's been riding here in 2013.
This bull's a bit of a terrorist. If he has an opportunity, if he gets you on the ground, he will come and try and run right over you. If I was a bull rider, I think I might be getting up in the middle of the night and checking under my bed if I had this bull. I'll tell you what, he's a bit of a terrorist. What a great shot we have down there. If you haven't had the opportunity to watch a cowboy and his bull rope, get ready. There's that handhold in the bull rope. Now we've got another cowboy up top. You'll see him pulling that bull rope up tight. Now the cowboy dictates how much tension we have on that rope. You can see that shot of that cowboy pulling up top. Some cowboys like it a little tighter than others. Some like to ride a little bit loose and cool. Now the rope comes through the palm of the hand. Now in just a second, he's going to take it around the back of his hand and then back through the palm. Now to tighten this one in there just a little bit more, he might take a finger roll with it. No, he doesn't. He's going to whack on that hand a little bit just before he gets ready to go. Thump it down in there. This is a big, strong guy right here. Outside, Kyle Lozier. Uh-oh, hang on, cowboy.
Well, you know, Doug, we talk about that first move, and some of these bulls, you know, we talk not only about the power, but the athleticism of the bull. Watch the first move from this bull. It is fast, it is powerful, and it's almost unrideable when a bull does that fast, that hard. You just can't get by that first jump.
That was a quick turnaround with a little bit of backup in it. Kyle Lozier would like to have that one back. It'll be a different story next time that cowboy and that bull match up. He'll be watching for that and waiting for that. The bullfighters down in front as they watch. That bull's being a little problematic to get out of the arena as well. Looks as though we've got him out now.
Max Energy Services. They call him TNT.
Well, Tyler Thompson, the man we call TNT from Black Diamond, Alberta, I tell you what, comes in at 82.5 points. Turned me down. Here's a guy who's been on the DL a bit over the last year and a half or so. But when he is right, you know what? He is a tremendous example of how to ride bulls. And I tell young kids, you want to be a bull rider? What you do is you video a whole lot of this guy's bull rides, and you just keep playing them back until you figure it out, because this is one of the best right here.
He's a very good cowboy, and if he were not right tonight, he would not be here. This guy would just not take that chance. Tonight we're going to do battle with a bull called Turn Me Down. Best ride I've seen on this bull, and you have too, Dave, 85.5. So we do have that degree of difficulty from the bull. Now, something's wrong down inside. He's not pleased with what's going on down in there.
Now you can see right there, and let's watch Tyler. He's just trying to get that bull to cooperate a little bit. These bulls will lean on you. You can see right there the help. This is one of the amazing things about the sport of rodeo. Of course, the guys that are trying to beat you are the guys that are there trying to help you as well. All right, you watch him right now as we get ready. And Tyler Thompson, the thing about it is you can get all the help you want, but eventually it's one guy on one bull for 8 seconds. Everybody else steps away, and it's up to you. Tyler Thompson trying to get things right now.
Time to reach deep. We're around to the left. Just right. Yes, sir. That's a Canadian champion. Whoa. Jesse Byrne first, Scott Burns second to get him out of the way. Oh, boy. That is a tough night for him.
Yeah, it was close. I don't think he made it. Doggone it. But you look at, he was not only making a ride, he was making a good ride, but this bull didn't quit either. You know, you got to give the bull credit right there to throw that champion on the ground. The bull had to have an awfully good day.
That was absolutely superb use of his free arm right there to keep him on the back of the bull.
Well, with one man to go, only one man who has a chance to snatch the title away from our leader right now. That man is Ty Patton, Buck Lake, Alberta. Cold and empty from the Vold firm. I like this bull. Now, we talked at some length with Ty Patton earlier, and he said this bull will actually squat down. I'm going to take this bull while he's laying down in the chute, because that's about the only way you can do it. It's not the way you want to as a bull rider. Sometimes you have to, and Ty Patton, the veteran, he can do that.
Well, he's cowboy. I'll tell you, cowboy all the time down inside. And he said this bull might be a little problematic in the buck chutes. We can see that right there. And he said, but whenever I get a clear shot at this bull, I'm going to take it. There's the bull. He's crouching already.
Now, the deal is, of course, that eventually the judges have the option of saying, you know, this bull simply won't cooperate with you. We will let you have a different bull. But the thing about it is you don't want a different bull. You want cold and empty because this is a real good bull. Now, he's going to give you some problems in the chutes, but once he's out in that arena, he can take you for a big, big payday.
And these cowboys know how to handle a situation like this. He's just stepped away for a second or two, and then he's going to step down on top of this bull one more time. Get the bull familiar with the weight of your body, and then we ask for tension on that bull rope. And here it comes right about now.
Well, Tanner Gerlitz, of course, is still our leader at 173 on 2 with an 86 and then an 87 here today. And Ty Patton is going to try to chase him down. Ty Patton getting ready on cold and empty. Ty comes in at 83 points. He'd have to be about 90 to catch him. Let's see if he can do it right here. Ty Patton.
Outside, and we're around. That a boy. This looks good. Oh, no. That's the horn. A little late. Too bad, Cowboy.
Doggone it. You know what? I thought he was there. I just, about 5 seconds in, everything looked real good. Looked like he was strong right there, and now this bull just keeps throwing the power to him. Finally gets him tipped out to that starboard side, and it didn't work for Ty Patton.
He was so happy and so confident tonight.
Well, I think right now we got a chance to meet the champion. Tanner Gerlitz did it again. No, we're going to. All right. No, we'll get to Tanner in just a minute. But I'll tell you what, that was an outstanding section of bull riding right there. And we talked about a great night here at the Wainwright Stampede. And you know, next Road to the CFR telecast is up there at the Ponoka Stampede. We've got a minute right now. I think we're going to take a short break, and we're coming right back to the Road to the CFR. The Road to the CFR is presented by the Edmonton Destination Marketing Hotels, Northlands, the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association, and iLink Media Group in partnership with Travel Alberta. You want me to throw to Katie?
Well, we're back here behind the chutes with a very happy Tanner Gerlitz. Tanner, tell me about your ride tonight.
That's a bull that's thrown me off before, and he's kind of a handful. It's kind of you don't know whether you're happy or mad to draw him. He's a great bull, but he's just kind of tough to get by, and everything's rolling for me right now, and I managed to get by him, and it worked out.
How does a bull like that affect you mentally before your ride?
If you're in kind of a slow spot and not riding good, it can mess with you. But as much as I've been winning here lately, my confidence is high as it can go, and I felt like after throwing me off last time, I knew what I had to do different, and I just went at him and did it different, and it worked out.
Right. Now, our other host talked about how you're feeling a little sore lately, especially your riding hand. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I got my hand pulled through my handle of my rope the other day, and my tail just squished my hand, and it swells up real bad every time I get on. And I went to a bull riding last night, and it's getting tough to hang on to my rope. So if you look at my rope right now, it's a gooey, sticky mess, and I just kind of tie it in there as tight as I can tie it in and hope for the best. And if it stays in, I stay on. If it comes out, I fly off, I guess.
Well, good luck with the rest of the season, Tanner. We look forward to seeing you at the next Road to the CFR. Back to you guys.
Well, I'm talking about that next Road to the CFR. Of course, that's going to be at Ponoka for our championship final of the Ponoka Stampede. That'll take place live Monday, July 1st at 7:30 p.m. We hope you'll be with us. On behalf of Doug Young, Katie Lucas, and myself, Dave Paulson, we'll see you next Monday, July 1st for the live webcast of the Ponoka Stampede Championship Finals. Good night from Wainwright, Alberta.